Ooh, wait, so we're gonna go back to I'm gonna call it from my phone. And do I just leave it open? And just leave it on the whole time? And then I gotta leave the phone. And remember, you got to put it in the Comrex to hear the calls. God. I think if that's how. I need the password to log in. It wasn't made. It wasn't made 2020. Explanation. It was something else.
Call-in Studios host and call screener line. Please enter your show number and press pound. Enter your 6-digit PIN number. Welcome, host. You have not started a show session in call-in studio and cannot yet receive calls. Welcome, host. You are now in the host room and can manage your callers from the call-in studio web interface.
Maze is the greatest. Sonia, I want to test this one last time with the phone before I get, huh? Yep, hold on. Wake up, Chicago. This your man, Maze Jackson. Talk back to me. Say something. Can you hear me, Maze? You should be able to hear music. No, I'm talking live. I'm talking live. I can hear it in the phone. I can't hear you in the phone. Say something. Yeah, actually. In the phone. Not in the phone. All right, Todd, I'm gonna need you. Make sure. Hold on.
Thank you for calling the Maze Jackson Show. In 15 seconds or less, please state your name and the topic you are calling about after the tone, then press the pound key.
Maze is the greatest. Oh, shit. Maze is the greatest. We're live. Todd, talk in your mic.
Yeah. I don't know what he said. I was only half paying attention to him. Maze is the greatest. That's all I really know. Let's see. Is the mayor standing alone in all this? I don't know.
Okay, we're good. All right, we're using phones today. Let's go.
Speeding.
Love. Looking at this generation, feeling hopeless. Eyes open. Ain't no hocus pocus. They will all know us. Shine, shine, you're beautiful inside. Yeah. Hey, rise up, yeah. Don't you know you can fly? Wake up, Chicago, wake up, world. This is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, it's like it's just me and you, man. Me and you in the studio. Oh, we didn't forget you, Sonia. We can never forget you. But you know, it seems like it's back to just Maze and Todd in the studio. I was wondering why it smells so funny in here.
What?
I'm just joking. Just jokes. All right, man. Well, Todd, I'm gonna tell you how you feeling this morning, man.
Oh, I'm feeling good.
Well, I'm gonna tell you, I'm excited.
Oh,
I have. You know why I'm excited today, Todd? Because we got the phone lines back.
Oh.
We got the phone lines back. So this is what I want to do. I'm going to start this show off with telling you, if you have been trying to get through, to give us a call, 872-259-7474. That's 872-259-7474. We got the bugs worked out, but I want to test. So I want to ask my family, if you made the switch, give us a call. 872-259-7474. All right, Todd, I am feeling real good. This is the Mace Jackson Show. My co-host, Todd Stroger. We got one more week without Ruthie. I think we're going to get Cousin Juan sometime next week. We working on trying to get some more people. If you're interested in guest hosting, reach out to your man. Let's see what's cracking. All right, Todd, what's up, man? Why you look like your eyes watering, man? Did you miss me?
You mean in the last 24 hours?
Look, man, you look like you got puffy eyes, man.
I probably didn't sleep as long as I probably should have.
What was the cat talking to you?
No, I woke up about 1. I had a dream. A mountain lion came and to the door. Then he turned into a guy. He gave me some advice. I opened the door. Then I was like, okay, bye, because he's still a mountain lion, right?
Okay.
But the cat went outside, and I was like, oh, no.
This ain't going to work. Right?
No, because you ain't coming back. So I was trying to get him in. Then the mountain lion man comes in, and then he pees on my window. But I guess that's how, cats do. I guess he's just a big cat. And he's like, well, let me mark some territory.
Wait, it's a real mountain lion?
No, it's a dream.
Oh. I was like, wait, what?
So all this dream happened between me sleeping between like 11 and like 1:30. Now I look at I wake up, I look at the clock, it's only 1:30. I'm like, what? It should be like at least 3.
Okay, you have a dream? Uh-huh.
Oh, yes.
Oh. You remember all this vividly?
You survive.
Man, I'm going to tell you. First, you got shooting tigers, peeing on cats. Mm-hmm. Ew, these dreams.
Was that Michael Douglas? Oh, Anthony Hopkins.
Okay, well look. All right, check this out. Check this out, y'all. So I'm kind of excited.
You didn't have a cat dream?
No, I don't dream about cats, man.
Oh man, see.
I dream about Carrie.
Sonia's only me and you.
Yep, just you and I dream about Carrie. All right, looks like we got everybody locked and loaded. This is the Mace Jackson Show. Todd Stroger, Sonia Escobar. We don't have Ruthie Moore. She'll be back in 2 weeks. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's get the soul plane up and away 60,000 feet. And you know what? I want to go to the live line because I want to check out my new gadget. So on the live line, we have Ron. Ron, you on the Mace Jackson Show. What's up, brother? Yeah,
Good morning. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Ron. We appreciate you, man. All right, man. I'm going to tell y'all, it's off the check. We back. We are back. Let me tell y'all what. They was trying to hold us down, but they can't stop us. We up 50,000 feet in the air. Let's do this time. Oh, look. It's already time to go to break. Let's do this. Let's go to break real quick. Let's take a quick pause for the calls. Then we're going to come back. I think we're going to let you listen for about a minute. Then when we come back, we're going to go into some of these headlines plus social media question of the day. It's so much going on. We'll get it all done. This is the Mace Jackson Show. Don't forget you can call in 872-259-7474. The phone lines are working and I'm looking to talk to you. All right, y'all. We'll be back. All right, y'all. Callers. Huh? Yeah. Did he hear you? I don't. Hey, rise up, rise up. So we got to take off the call screen. Oh, y'all couldn't hear the callers because I didn't turn on the speaker. Okay, so I got to remember when callers come on to turn on the speaker. Sorry, guys. All right, y'all. I want to tell y'all thank you very, very much yesterday for everybody who sent us stars and was showing us the much love. Very soon I'm going to start putting up the leaderboard. Want to give extra special thanks out to everybody who was rocking with us. Got to send a special shout out to the top star giver of all time, Madam President Carrie K. Steele. Y'all, she put up 11,000 on the board yesterday. Nidra, you doing your thing. Thank you. Thank you. Hold on one second, y'all. So it's so much going. I got so many things to watch. We got so many things. Y'all, I'm working on closing one of the biggest acquisitions ever. If I can close this one, when I tell you this morning, this station, they can when I forgot to turn the speaker on.
No.
All right, so let me say big shout out to Carrie K. Steele, my beautiful, lovely wife, Nidra Williams, Brian Hudson, 5,000 stars, 5,525. Shout out to Christopher Devine, 3825. Chess Etc. with 2235. Audrey Tanksley with 2235. Entwa Dumela, 1,300. What up, Stanton Helms, Antonio Dickey? Now I'm gonna tell, and Sharon Ugochi, can't forget you as well. Let me tell y'all what, we about to get this thing cracking. I'm so excited. I got some phones. Ooch! I hope y'all didn't see that. Whoa, Jam. Down for me, yeah.
Mark Wallace said he was carjacked. 71st and Stone. Oh, you can't hear me.
You are listening to What's in It for the Black People Radio live on WBGX 1570 AM, y'all. I'm excited because I think we are working. We got the whole thing cracking. We got the phones back on. So let me do this. I'm going to go to the live line because you know what this is. Somebody, you know what? Let me just go to the live line. Caller, you on the live line? What's up? This your man, Maze Jackson. What you got for us today? Caller?
You talking to me?
Yes, sir. Caller, go ahead.
My brother, this is Frank from the West Side, and this is Liverpool. I keep telling you, there is a God. Thank you, Maze Jackson. Thank you, Maze Jackson. You know, you was always my favorite commentator on Monday. Now on WBGX, my favorite time commentator, ironic again, it's Monday again. But anyway, forget that. God bless you. I will be tuning in. I went on social media and I spread the word. I found him. WBGX 1570 AM, YouTube. I'm watching right now. I'm tuning in, bro.
Oh, Frank, we appreciate you, man. It's good to hear you. Todd, you want to say what's up to Frank, man?
Love you, brother. Love you, Todd. Soldier. Love you. I'm Sonia. Escobar.
Love you more.
That's what I'm talking about. We back, y'all. I'm telling you.
Y'all finna blow up like Roland Martin now.
Oh, Lord.
Bigger.
That's what I'm talking about.
At 5 o'clock, I'm watching Roland Martin Unfiltered every day, Monday through Friday. So now I got my main Jackson back. I'm set now. I can start back to
out, man. We love you, Frank. Hey, man, look. I said we gonna blow up like that building in Beirut, boy.
Oh my God.
that was quite the explosion. I was like, dang. I was worried, man. I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I'm praying for all of them. All right, let me get through some of these headlines. Todd, I don't even think Todd.
You know what I've learned, Maze?
What's
is that some of my friends, not like I got a ton of them, but the ones that are like over 60, the males, they don't mind saying "love you" before they hang up.
You know what? I'm getting there. I'm getting there. I'm not like "love you, boo," but you know, like
right.
I catch myself being like, I wasn't supposed to say that. Like, oh no, I wasn't supposed to say that.
You know what? In the text, do you guys say "love you" or "I love you"? Because there's a difference.
No, you make it a difference.
First
For millennials, it's either "love ya,"
No, I don't do yeah.
Love you.
Okay, well, I don't do all that.
I like love ya. I kind of like the way that sounds.
You know what? Like millennials, see, that's because they need to get some business. That's all it is. They need to get some business. You gotta see. That's like Negro. You're right. The derivatives of right. See, all right, y'all. Look. Let me say. You all stay tuned today at 7:00. Governor Rod Blagojevich, former Governor Rod Blagojevich, will be on the show. He'll be calling in to talk about being official A. All right, you like how I did that, being official A, because he's been official A.
Yeah.
And so now he was advising Mike Madigan to stand up, speak up, and fight against the feds. Now I feel like I'm gonna ask him, was he saying that so he could go down quicker, right? Because remember he said, "Bring it on." And they was like, "We brought it."
Yeah,
Mike Madigan. Right. I keep waiting for Mike Madigan to make a fiery statement so I could be like the next day. I check the paper every day, right?
Right.
I check the paper every single day. Be like, damn, not today.
Bosses don't yell.
Well, I can't say that actually because I'm a boss and I scream all the time. All right.
I didn't snitch.
Remote learning to start this year. CPS. I think. So I agree, but I think the mayor got punked again. I think that CTU is making the mayor look like a punching bag. I think Paris and Brandis both agreed with me yesterday on Chicago Tonight, right? They were like, CTU recognizes that this is an opportunity to again get a win. So they knew that it was already waffling, so they positioned the strike so they could be like, we won again. And I just think the mayor, I think, can I tell you something? Do you watch Chicago Tonight?
I had a cable misfunction, so usually I record
That
it.
sound like he can't pay his bill. All right, look. But let me tell you, the thing is, me and Carrie. Oh, let me keep Carrie out this. We watch Chicago Tonight all the time, and the mayor got on and tried to lecture. You know how the mayor lectures black people?
Yeah.
She tried to lecture Paris. Brandis.
Uh-huh.
And it was like it was a black woman moment that everybody black saw.
Uh-huh.
Like if you was watching it, you saw it and you was like, "Ooh." And since that point, if you pay attention, Brandis always got something slick to say. Didn't look like that worked very well. And she go right up. And so I love it.
After the penguin video?
Oh, man. Yeah, she was asking, "Come on, let's be real, You know how she always be like.
Yeah, I remember that.
She tries to assume the authoritative role all the time.
Right, like you must be.
You dumb.
Joking. This can't be.
Just can't
serious.
be. Right, you can't be. Okay. Speaking of can't be serious, did you see the gang map, the gang war map?
No.
Okay, there's a gang war map. Like that has the neighborhoods and the gangs and all this stuff. And apparently, the gangs have elevated to a level of releasing their tactical strategy of where they're going to kill people.
Well, this is nothing. Well,
No, the gang made
I was gonna say it's nothing new, but what I really mean is it's nothing new that people have been putting things on the internet since the internet started.
Yeah, Todd, but you don't say, okay, this is the kill zone. Right, like red kill. Right, I'm gonna try and find a copy
How
of it.
else are your brothers gonna figure out what's happening?
I was wondering how else are the police gonna find out what's happening.
Well, see, I learned that when I was the alderman, and that was like 15 years ago or something, whatever that was. There was a lot of stuff happening. You know how they used to drag race on South Chicago?
Okay, yeah.
Well, they used to put that on the internet. Okay, everybody, we're going to be at South Chicago at 7 p.m. on Saturday. So the police would show up.
They did the same thing with those malls and they lost. It's just you can be overwhelmed. All I'm saying is I know they put stuff on the internet, but the gang war map where you're going to kill people, all I'm going to say is there's a lot of neighborhoods that people need to look at that map because apparently I thought it was a joke. And everybody else is like, no, they did it for real.
Wow.
Right? That's crazy.
Well, that's on top of, I just mentioned Mark Wallace got carjacked at 71st and Stony, but you couldn't hear me. You had your headphones on.
What? Mark Wallace, man.
Yeah,
Mark
okay.
Wallace is watching right now. Mark, we are praying for you, man. You are in our hearts and minds. Hey, Mark, need a home? Anyway, let me go. Let me also say, did you see no more engines at Lane Tech? Lane Tech?
What's the engine?
Engines? Like engines. I'm like, kill those red engines.
Oh, they were the Indians.
Right. Engines.
Right.
You know, but John Wayne used to call them engines.
Yeah.
Right, we're going to get those engines.
So they haven't changed the name, but they're about to?
Yeah, they voted to drop the Indian as a mascot. So I'm sure it's gonna be a lot of mad white people. Man. So yesterday, did we talk about Leader Turner? We did talk about Leader Turner, Senior.
You did mention it.
Again, consequences of all of these federal agents being deployed. They aren't making a distinction between the who's who. That's why I said I'm about to start staying in. After 7 o'clock, you ain't even gonna see me outside.
Well, you know, I've always thought that 67-year-old black men are probably kind of dangerous.
Leader Turner is kind of spelt, man.
Yeah,
he
yeah.
might
Like,
look like he might dot your eyes still. You know what I'm saying? Don't touch Leader Turner. He
played soccer, so he was pretty athletic. He probably still is.
He played soccer.
Yeah, in college.
Leader Turner, soccer. Art, why you ain't tell me, dog? See, Art, I got one, but other Art, little Art, I'm gonna get you. I can't wait till I see Leader Turner. You was a soccer player, dog. I didn't even know black people played soccer back in the day, except the Africa.
That keeps you in great shape.
Yeah, he got a soccer build.
Yeah.
Right, Sonia, watch yourself. All right, 120K. Okay, so did you all see that there's 120,000 fake unemployment accounts electronically? So let me just help you understand. These are the same people that tell me they can vote, they can count the votes and vote by mail. Just so we clear, they have issued 120,000 in wrong unemployment checks. They paid people.
When you
wrong.
say wrong, I'm
like
saying that these people
fake identity.
They were trying to scam the system.
No, they weren't trying. They did.
They did it, right?
Yes.
But see, that's how government works. Things happen, and then there's a audit, or you have some kind of financial.
After the president is reelected. Okay, gotcha.
Well, you got to check afterwards. It's kind of hard to check in the moment.
Hanging chads. That's all I got to tell you. Did you see Donald Trump flipped on the vote by mail? He like, wait a minute, we can steal this thing. Look, this is the Mace Jackson Show. I'm your host, Mace Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. When we come back, caller, did we lose my caller? I'm going to take your call. And we'll be we both callers left. So I'm filling my new toys, y'all. So please forgive me as I'm working them out. We'll be back after these messages.
The Mace Jackson Show. We'll be back after this break.
Yeah, y'all. All right, y'all. Take a moment. It is my sincerest hope that you wonderful people today will continue to bless us with stars upon stars upon stars as I seek to compensate my staff. Look, anyway, we're going to put our star goals up because we're trying to I want to buy a video screen for back here, right? So when our talent comes in, they can just be here. Y'all, I'm telling you, if you got talent, you looking for a show, please come on and hit me up. Come on in. We have 171 live viewers. Thank you very much. You all do me a favor. Take a moment, share the broadcast. All right, Hassan, thank you for the 50 stars, my brother. Thank you. I want to appreciate you all for getting with us. Also, we broke 10,000 page followers. Which allows us to now provide subscriptions. So my guess is that very soon we're going to be looking for our watchers and viewers to join and become subscribers to help us continue to build the brand. Todd, you got the camera.
The little camera. I'm gonna start eating breakfast.
No, go ahead. No, I'm not. Wait, go ahead.
That wasn't anything like incredibly deep, I said. So, other than I think I get hungry somewhere about 6:30.
2.
Wow. There's over 20,000 Holocaust survivors living in New York today. Who would think?
That many?
Yeah, they got to be. Well, it's one they have pictured as 90, but I guess we're living so much longer nowadays. What's my favorite fruit? Cherries.
All right, your camera is live. Woo-hoo! Woo-hoo! Your sweetness is my weakness. Your sweetness. Miss, your loving. The good girls.
The good girls. The good girls were in vogue, but they couldn't swing as good.
Your sweetness is my weakness. Your sweet.
Radio, Maze Jackson. Maze Jackson, the most vociferous advocate for black people in the world.
You are listening to What's in it for the Black People Radio. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Hey, Todd, we are missing Ruthie more. Jasmine ain't out. You ran her up out of here. I think we're going to get Cousin Juan next week. We got Miss Sonia Escobar, the musical conductor of the Soul Plane. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. And Todd, it is... hold on. I'm going to run through my last few headlines. Joe Biden VP pick, is it today or tomorrow? You think today or tomorrow? Tomorrow?
What's today? Thursday?
Thursday. I mean,
Tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow, but it seems like, now you know Trump gonna do something crazy to eat that all up, right? Also, Pritzker says that a lockdown could be coming again. It's like, I think Governor Pritzker is trying to pick up the Lori Lightfoot, like, I'm gonna be tough, but he doesn't really come off as kind of tough. You know what I mean? It's like the guy that was like, I'm gonna be tough, but it's like, dude, we used to pick on you.
I think he just doesn't want to be a Southern governor. He doesn't want to fall into that group.
I get it, except for the fact that the matter is, I mean, I'm not saying that he's not gonna follow. I say that his style, right? I don't think that get tough stuff. The white guys down south ain't honoring that. That's all I'm saying, right? He ain't gonna turn into Uncle. He ain't gonna turn into Uncle JB.
I don't know if the guys down below I-80 ever give anybody above I-80 any real respect.
Well, he sure was down there trying to give it to him. And I keep reading these white reports where they say like he's got all of this political capital, and I keep thinking like he ain't like. Oh, that's what you know why they think he's got all this political capital, because y'all keep clapping for nothing, because y'all keep praising him for squeezing you out the business.
Big state. I don't know what goes on down there.
Lord have mercy, Jesus. Can I just tell you real quick, speaking of not knowing what's going on down there, I was on the I Will call yesterday that featured Kim Fox, Juliana Stratton, Toy Hutchinson,
Oh, yes, I saw that.
and JGB, Jahan Gordon Booth, who happens to be one of my favorite legislators. And I just need to tell you that if I see one more large group of white women clapping for the failure of black people, I'm going to have a nervous breakdown. And it's like these people keep retreating to white people who pat them on the back for the madness. And I'm going to talk about this at 8:30 because I just don't understand. I just don't understand. And then you can't get an attitude with me for asking questions. Like, you promised me something, then you know how somebody owe you some money and they get an attitude with you?
When you ask them,
Right. When or they come in the room and they make themselves mad at you for just being like, and y'all ain't even really, I just said, how did it happen?
Yeah.
I mean, we did the best. Okay, we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it later, though. I'm going to say that one. All right, let's go to the social media question of the day. Hey, y'all, we got some phones, so I need to hear from you all. 872-259-7474. Give us a call. And it's real simple. Is CPS ready for remote learning? Is CPS ready for remote learning? And the reason I'm going to ask this question, Todd, is because here's the things that crossed my mind when I started thinking about the fact that we were going. First of all, when Stacey Davis Gates was like, man, we should have been planning for this all summer, so we about to do this right now, and they was planning on opening up in just a month. Here's the things that crossed my mind. Teachers and classes, how? How will each teacher that had a class run a school day? Will it be a virtual school day, right, online, that you still got to go to class, or does the teacher teach 1 hour a day? And then, no shade, but what does a school day look like, right? Yeah, then, students, where is the classroom? I was thinking about this. Like, me and Carrie have 4 bedrooms. We have 4 bathrooms. We have a living room, a basement, a rooftop, a garage.
Uh-huh.
We still don't have enough space. And God help us when the kids come over.
That means you got too much stuff.
But where is the learning space? So I was just thinking about this, like
our dining room table.
Your dining room table, but if the learning space is a dining room table, which is also the office, which is also, so when you're taking the conference call, where is the space for the child? Do they have learning space? And the dining room table is everybody's office. If you look at mine. Right? It's everybody's office.
Well, Janine's at work. I'm sleeping in the chair. Hans is talking to some radical on the computer.
And you got 2, and if you got 2, but imagine if you got 2 or 3 school-age kids.
Ooh,
at 3 different levels.
Yeah.
Right? And they learn it. Okay, so that's my next question. The internets. All internets is not the same.
Man, I get dropped all the time in the front room.
Let me tell you, internets is all not the same. And even though they're giving you access to the internet, I just need to be clear, it's not all the same. Let me tell you, if the hamster starts spinning, if I start spinning this, I'm hanging up.
You said because it's over.
That's taking too long. Yeah. It's taking too long. Imagine a child, right? You waiting to get the Google and you got 4 computers eating up the okay? What are we going to do about the internet?
Right.
Equipment. So, Tamiko brought to my attention that the equipment that the kids were getting was not, like, I was under the impression every kid was getting an iPad. Right? No, They finding like Apple IIe's, whatever they can find as a computer so they can say they gave it. Mm-hmm. Now, in the white neighborhoods, we know the parents, me, I'm buying my own kid an iPad. I ain't letting you take charity.
Yeah, we had to buy one for Claire.
And
hers broke.
And they said buy you another one.
That's right.
Right, that's your problem. Yeah. And then they still charge you for the books they put on that bad boy. So,
and those books cost like a
whole book. They be like, we got it. Okay. So then, what is the curriculum? Right? Like, what's the class schedule? Remember when we talked to LaTanya and we were calling it e-learning? Yeah. And she was like, it's not e-learning. Let's be clear. Because e-learning has specific curriculum, buttons, classes, and it rolls all the way out. Like, there's an end to e-learning. There's a class. There's a test. You really got to pass. Mm-hmm. Remember? So they was like, we're going to call it remote learning. So we still in remote learning, which means they ain't guaranteeing no education. Now, here's my last thing. And then I'm going to open up the phone lines. I want you all to give us a call. 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Todd, I'm going to be honest. I think you're going to miss 2 years of education. Like, I think that there's not going to be a standard for the last 2 years. And so I think when kids return to whatever is the new normal, a 5th grader might be a 3rd grader.
But you know what the good thing about that is? It's a standard across the nation.
I disagree. Because guess what I'm going to say?
What?
You think I'm letting my kid miss 2 years? No, seriously.
You're going to send them to Sweden?
No, the Archdiocese got a plan.
Yeah.
Right?
They have a plan.
I'm saying, they got a solid plan. Right? Now, all I'm suggesting is, and if there wasn't, then I probably would pay for some version of a daily school class, whether it was online or whatever, but I'm not going to let him, we're already at a disadvantage. I'm not going to let him miss 2 years. Now, I have that luxury. So, when we come back, the social media question of the day, give us a call. 872-259-7474. I promise you I'm not tricking you. 872-259-7474. Is CPS ready for remote learning? And is there a trick in this remote learning? Because what are the standards? And how will we measure success or failure? All right? What's the measurements? We'll talk about it when we come back. 872-259-7474. This is the Mace Jackson Show. We need some air. I always forget. I turn it off at night.
Yeah.
Girl, mine is milk, and I know she's good. Dope. Say hello. You are listening to What's in it for the Black People Radio. We are asking the social media question of the day. Is CPS ready for remote learning? Todd, I'm going to go to the live line. We got a caller. Caller, you are on the... Hold on. Let me make sure I got it. Caller, you on the live line. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, you made the switch. Tell us your name and where you calling from.
This is B, and you are my frat brother.
Hey, Blue Fi.
D-Fi, I am calling in regards to the remote learning. I don't have a dog in this fight. My son is an adult now. However, my take on this is we are already at a disadvantage, as you said. And to have these kids pretty much willy-nilly at a computer screen. I've heard horror stories about teachers not logging on, not checking on anybody in terms of if they're mastering anything that they've given in terms of assignments. And also, I heard the press conference yesterday saying that there was the promise of putting in place something regarding children being able to access some kind of, I guess, location if the parents have to work. Well, if you can do that, then what's the purpose of closing the schools if you're going to send children to another location to learn? I'm just not understanding it. I think it's all up in the air, and these kids are going to be left behind.
Oh, thank you, D. I appreciate your call. I'm going to tell you, I kind of agree, right? Like, I think parents that have to work are going to work. And I think you're going to have a clash of cultures because the kids are going to be at home, which means they might not even be at home. And I don't know if they've worked that piece of it out. Like, I do almost feel like the schools have to be open, and they may even have to have, like, socially distanced some kind of game plan, because I think what it does is really, what I think happens is with the, I feel like what happens is the parents are still going to have to figure out work. That's not going to go away, especially for black people. Mm-hmm. And so what do we do with those children that really don't have an option? See, I feel like often, I get the teachers, and I'm not suggesting that I'm not suggesting that the schools are babysitters, but they are part of the ecosystem, right? Like, the school, like, oh, yes. Schools are part of the ecosystem. And when you take out a pillar of the ecosystem, I think we haven't figured it out. Like, I think some companies were starting to say, you can get extended leave for your kids, etc. This is going to affect how every single Chicago business has to do if they're doing it. Let me go to the live line because we got another caller. Let me go to the live line. Derek, you on the Maze Jackson Show. What's going on? Derek, you on the Maze Jackson Show.
Hey, Maze. Hey, Todd. And Sonia. How y'all doing today?
We good, man. We good.
Okay, so here's the deal with the CPS going virtual. There's so many things that need to be in place, such as mobile Wi-Fi. Mobile Wi-Fi. They need that. They're going to need tech support just in case the kids have problems with their laptops, if they get laptops.
Ooh.
Also, they're going to need a uniform email for each and every student and staff, just in case there's an issue with the laptops themselves. They're going to have to be able to contact either via email or by telephone tech support. And then also, how do they communicate? If they don't have a phone or if they don't have like a camera on that particular laptop. I mean, most laptops do come with cameras, but there's so many things. My point is, there's so many things that they should have had in place, or they should be working on, and not to mention the homeless kids. What about the homeless kids? How are they supposed to access their education? I mean, it's a cluster screw. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. They're just blowing smoke. This stuff is not in place, and it would take them probably 6 months to a year to get this in place for everybody. So, thousands of kids are going to get left behind for sure.
Wow. All right, so thank you, Derek. I want to know, how do we deal with this, guys? Like, again, I think he brought up some very valid points. Think about what happens when your child does need tech support. Is he going to be on the phone with China? I'm not trying to. And Twin is saying CPS has cameras on their laptops, but all of them don't. Right? There's a variety of levels of tech that they are giving to people, right? So let me just think like this. If 1 in 4 black kids goes to an underperforming black school, does that then say that 1 in 4 black kids is going to get an underperforming computer? No, I mean, I just want you to think about it.
So we kind of follow the pattern of what CPS has done through the decades.
Exactly. Give us a call. 872-259-7474. Are your children going back? And as they're staying home, what's your place? Are you creating a private space for your children? Todd, everybody can't have a dining room table, and I got to make the money. So, guess what? I'm taking I got more space on the table. Uh-huh. Right? And don't start talking while I'm on. I got a call.
Dude, when I come home, Claire says, shh. Because she's taking a driver's ed.
I'd be like, whose house is this? Right? I'd be like, whose house is this? Speaking of driver's ed, it's the 6th. In 4 days, my boy gets his permit. Lord. He keep looking at the car like, what's up? I'll be like, not a dang on thing.
Yeah.
All right, y'all. So CPS, are you ready? I mean, so Todd, the Archdiocese released a plan yesterday, or they released a plan earlier this month, where there is a hybrid plan. You got option. You can stay home. There's hybrid, or you can go full day, right? Like you can straight up go to school. I am concerned that the children that are left at home to their devices without any measurement tools. We know that this last time they said almost 25% of the children did not even log on. They did not make contact, and they passed. Think about that. Think about if you could e-ditch. Man, could you imagine? Like, and
even the best students did not show up.
Well, I'm saying, like, I mean, or they, again, do we get our tax money back?
I don't think that's gonna happen.
So do the teachers get a full check? I'm not tripping. What I'm saying is, right now, it needs to be all hands on deck, and I want to see a detailed, spelled out plan, right? And now that the teachers union has mollywopped the mayor once again, I think that they should take the lead. I'm gonna call Stacy up. I'm like, Stacy, y'all need to get everybody a lap. Like, did I tell you when I was talking to these rich developers at one point, and remember when I told you Ron was gonna try and buy the school, so he was gonna try and win the election with the iPad? Remember that?
Yeah.
So they said it would only cost $100 million to buy every kid in CPS a brand new iPad.
Huge.
Now you say that, but how much? But how much money did we spend on violence prevention from COVID? Remember when the president said he spent $900 million? Like, how much of that went to the education of our children? I'm just saying, priorities. Did anybody say that they are going to take money from the COVID fund? What is it, the CARES Act? Does the CARES Act cover this money? See what? Now check this out. Remember how I told you the Latinos control every level of education all the way up to the dig? Yeah. Don't be surprised if the UNO schools get laptops. Children. What are we going to do, Todd? I mean, I think, so both the mayor and CTU got their wishes, but what about our kids now? What about our kids? Who is going to make the Black Learning channel? Who? Like, I'd like to offer to my friend Bueller. She probably busy talking to the alphas. That's why she didn't get the plan together.
Well, she needed a lot of intelligent thought.
All right, look, y'all. Sonia's giving me the sign. It looks like we got to go to break. Now, when we come back, being official A, former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich knows what it's like to be under federal scrutiny. He told Speaker Madigan in an article I saw on Center Square, speak up, stand up, fight back. Now I was wondering, I'm going to ask him, right? Because he knows what it's like to be official A. Yeah. I got to ask him, was he really being serious, or is he trying to help this? Was he putting a banana peel by the graveyard? By the grave?
Yeah, by the grave itself.
Right. He want to help I think he wants to help the speaker. You know what? I think the two people that when the speaker goes to court, I think the two people that's going to trial every day, me and Rod Blagojevich. Look, y'all, we'll be back and we'll be talking to former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich when we come back.
AM 1570 WBGX Harvey. Chicago.
What up, Mark Vargas?
I'm Dr. Willie Wilson, and I'm running for U.S. Senate for the state of Illinois. I will never give up on inclusion and equality, prison reform, reduced property taxes, and economic opportunity.
So that scratching sound that you hear,
termites.
No, it's the interference between all of this stuff being so close.
Yeah.
It's like when you used to have a Nextel, and everything else would ring when it rang, like everything else would get interference.
Oh yeah, I had a Nextel.
Hey Mark, have him call in. Oh. All right, we got Rod on the line. No one put you down. Let me see you smile. Shine, shine. You're beautiful inside. Hey, rise up, rise up. Don't you know you can... You are listening to What's in it for the Black People Radio live on WBGX 1570 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. But you know how we do at the top of the hour. Gotta say what's up to the rest of the team. What's up to Miss Sonia Escobar, the musical conductor of the Soul Plane. Miss Ruthie Moore is out of the building. She'll be back in a little bit later, couple weeks. But y'all, it is going down in the state of Illinois. It is going down in the state of Illinois. We have seen, I talked to y'all about the Illinois Minotti. I talked to you all about the Illinois Minotti because I went down to Springfield and I saw how the sausage was made. And once I saw how the sausage was made, I'm going to tell y'all, I got sick. Oh. I got sick because I saw black folks wasn't eating. And I noticed that there was, as I was in Springfield, I realized that there was one real puppet master. One person that was controlling what was going on. Todd, I never really realized it until going to Springfield and becoming a lobbyist. Now, I'm going to tell you, one of my favorite characters in Springfield, I still I bet you if you ran him for office today in the black community, he probably could still win something, was Governor Rod Blagojevich. And I think one of the best times that I used to enjoy in Springfield was when Rod Blagojevich would team up with old Senator Emil Jones, and they would give the old speaker the flux. But you know, you got to be careful with that speaker because he's a crafty guy. He is a crafty guy. And so when we found out about Official A, the leader of the charge of his demise at that time was Speaker Madigan, and Official A was former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. Well, now the shoe is on the other foot, and Speaker Madigan is now Official A. I'm not guessing because in the plea agreement, they named him as the Speaker of the House. So it's not a secret. Here to talk to us about being Official A is former Illinois Governor, newly free, and he got a podcast. He's doing his thing. You got my man Mark Vargas, got him everywhere. It is former Illinois Governor Rod Blagojevich. Welcome back, Governor. How are you?
Mays, good morning to you, and hello, Todd. How you doing?
Good morning. Great, thank you.
All right, Governor. Well, first of all, let me thank you for coming and joining us. Governor, I don't know if you know, we got a new home. We are now at WBGX 1570 AM. So when we get, when everything gets back to normal, we're going to have you come on and sit down with us in the studio. But what I want to talk to you about, Governor, is you've been Official A. And I want you to, you were, I saw an article in Center Square, you were giving Speaker Madigan some advice on being Official A. Well, Governor, talk to me. First of all, you got the unique experience of being Official A and then being in the position of fighting the federal government. Talk to me about this experience.
Well, first of all, I wouldn't recommend it to anybody. It's not a good thing to be a public official A. It's a bad thing to be in, a bad place to find yourself in. The journey from being a public official A to being inmate number 408922424 is not a very long one when you think about the scheme of things in the course of a life. Because when they do that, they put a target on your back. They pretty much are relentless, and they never stop going after you, even if what they say you've done isn't criminal. Now, I want to draw a distinction, Mays, between me as a public official A and Madigan as a public official A. Unlike Madigan, I never took a penny. I didn't enrich myself. No family member of mine ever made any money while I was while I was governor. In fact, I did an executive order preventing any family member of mine to do business with the state of Illinois. Madigan, on the other hand, presides over really what could very well be a criminal enterprise, how he's been able to control everything in Springfield, pass legislation that benefits himself and his family. I mean, this guy's been a state lawmaker since 1973, and he's made himself a multimillionaire. Now, how do you do that and do it honestly? And they just indicted and found guilty and sentenced the former Speaker of the House of New York State, a guy named Sheldon Silver. He'd been there for 15 years, and Silver admitted that he had steered legislation to benefit real estate developers who then hired his law firm to do work.
Wait, that sounds familiar. That sounds kind of familiar.
That's right. Madigan's been accused of steering legislation on behalf of Commonwealth Edison. In fact, Commonwealth Edison has said that's exactly what he did. And now there's allegations that there's a law firm that's involved that's gotten legal business and is benefited financially. And that could very well be Madigan's law firm, but certainly the way Madigan controls the legislative process and the real estate tax world, where he makes all kinds of money representing the big downtown property owners, reducing their taxes. And every time he does that, the taxes in the neighborhoods on the south side, the northwest side, all over the city, those taxes go up. So Madigan has been doing that kind of thing like that, Sheldon Silver, for actually 35 years, a lot longer. So Silver gets the silver medal for corruption. Madigan is facing the possibility of winning the gold medal for corruption.
Now, Rod, excuse me, Governor, help me understand.
Yes.
I want you to, because, I've been talking about this Illinois Minotti for about 4 or 5 years now, as I've been down in Springfield and was a lobbyist Talk to me about kind of how this process works, or when you were governor, how you saw the process work, and how you kind of tried to interfere with it. And as you tried to break it up, you became a target and an enemy of the speaker.
Well, that's right. And frankly, I got to tell you, Mayor, I wear that as a badge of honor. And I don't like to see what's happening to him happen in the sense that he might face prison time. That's not something you wish on anybody.
He wished it on you, though. He definitely wished it on you.
I do agree with that. I think he did, and he could very well have had a hand in it.
I think so, too.
I'm called Madigan an octopus. He's got his tentacles everywhere. This guy's been around, as I said, since 1973. That's a very long time. He's been the speaker, except for 2 years, since 1983. He's been the Democratic Party chairman since 1998. So he has been able, over all of those years, to gather all the power in state government. And as Emil Jones, a strong leader like him, has retired, and his eye was taken out of the game and hijacked from office. As Mayor Daley is no longer the mayor. As Harold Washington passed away. Strong political figures who would take on Madigan and had their own agenda. They're all gone. And so Madigan is left with a weakling like Pat Quinn, who just did whatever he wants him to do, and J.B. Pritzker, who not only does whatever Madigan wants him to do, J.B. Pritzker gives him millions of dollars from the hard-earned money of his ancestors who made all that money at the Hyatt hotels. J.B.'s actually given Madigan all that money. So the way it works down in Springfield, and when you call it the Illuminati, you got it exactly right. He's like the Pope. Everything goes through him. He controls everything. And when you take him on and you fight him, because his tentacles are all over the place, and I truly believe they very well likely could have been in that U.S. Attorney's office that preceded the one that's there now, the one with Fitzgerald and those corrupt people. It could very well be that Madigan had connections there as well, because there's all kinds of circumstantial evidence that I see in my case where I can identify the possibility. I don't know for sure, but the possibility that Madigan had a hand in some of that. When you take him on, you're taking on a guy who, like you say, is very crafty, has been there a very long time, and he controls so much. And because of that, he's the one who decides pretty much what happens in state government. And when you don't have a guy like Emil Jones who's willing to take him on and fight for the community, or me, and I wear this as a badge of honor, we didn't get along. You had a Democratic governor, a Democratic speaker, you had a Democratic governor, a Democratic state party chairman, and we were always fighting. My battles weren't with the Republicans. They were almost irrelevant. My battles were with Madigan. And the way we were able to do things like all kids, and the way we got free public transportation for our seniors and the disabled, the way we were able to invest in public education and preschool, that was because Emil Jones was a tremendous ally, and the two of us together were able to go around Madigan to get those things done. And then what we couldn't get done legislatively, I did it through executive orders. And, Madigan wanted to impeach me long before I had any kind of criminal problems. And he had a memo that was put out back in early 2008 where he was encouraging his members to talk about impeaching me because I went around him, rewrote a bill, a sales tax increase that provided free public transportation for seniors. So, yes, he controls everything, and he's a vindictive little guy, and he is just a little backroom politician who is a puppet master and controls everything. And he controls all the money. And he controls the money in politics. And so the state lawmakers these days, unlike the days when Todd and I got elected, when we had, we came out of political organizations where we could pretty much get elected with the support of our local community, and we had family members that helped us. A lot of these state lawmakers now, they just look to Madigan completely to elect them and keep them in office, to raise the money. And as a result of that, once they go to Springfield, they're basically glorified precinct captains. They pretty much do everything he wants them to do. They don't have minds of their own.
Rod, excuse me, and I keep calling you Rod, but I got to show you your respect, former Governor Blagojevich. Talk to me about this case, because there seems to be this belief. So I read the Capitol Facts. I ain't going to lie. I read Capitol Facts, and when I read Capitol Facts, it's the Insider Baseball publication of Springfield, and one of the interesting things that I find is that there is this belief that Madigan is smarter than the federal government. Like, people are like, he's so smart, no one can touch him. Where has he cultivated this myth that he's bigger than the federal government? That he's the smartest guy, he's smarter than everybody. Is that true? Or has he got fear and intimidation to make it happen?
Well, it's a lot. It's a combination of all of those things. I mean, look, he's a very smart guy. I'm not going to take that away from him.
Right.
He's a very hard worker. He's single-minded in his focus. This is all he does all the time. He really doesn't have any other interest. The guy gets up at 4 o'clock in the morning, and the scheming starts.
Did you say the scheming starts?
He's out there out thinking everybody is scheming and planning and coming up with all kinds of what I call Madigan shenanigans. Okay? And he has third parties do his dirty work. That's another thing about this guy. He's a tough target to hit because most people don't know who he is. If they know the governor and they know the mayor, but most people are not interested in state government. It's so good to have a show like yours, Maze, because you're able to expose what's going on. And you really capture the essence of Springfield when you call it the Illuminati. You're absolutely right. All the lobbyists, all the lawmakers, it all comes to a center, and that's Madigan. He's the guy at the center. All of that system down there, they're spokes. He's the hub of the wheel. And so you got to go and kiss the ring. And they have this awe of him that you just talked about. When they say that, when they call him the speaker, they call him the speaker. It's almost like in hushed tones.
They do. They won't look him in the eyes.
Yes.
If you go to Saputo's, I'm telling you, you go to Saputo's and he's sitting there and people are like, they just want him to like even look up and acknowledge him. And I just don't understand this. Like, Governor, I was talking to Todd about this. And, this guy makes people come when they want to see him. And he makes them climb up the back steps and they have to almost like bend the knee like Game of Thrones before they can be blessed in the black community to any to any black elected official. Help me understand, how did he become so powerful in your estimation over black elected officials?
Well, because he's an equal opportunity control freak, okay? It ain't just the black lawmakers, okay? In this, all things are equal. He controls almost all of them. And the way he does it is he doles out committee assignments. That's one of the ways he does it. So that if you get a committee assignment, you're going to make another $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 a year. And so now, in addition to your state rep salary, you're going to get another stipend on top of that by being a committee chairman. Now, I don't know what the numbers are today, but I do know when I left home 8 years ago, and my sister-in-law was a state representative, and even she became like a Madigoon. She suddenly became relying on him to run her campaigns and do her direct mail. And she got a committee assignment. And basically every one of the state reps at the time I left all had committee assignments. Now, that's not how it works. Committees are supposed to be, a small group of people, and not every lawmaker, get when I say committee assignment, a committee chairmanship is what I'm saying. They're all committee chairmanship, so he gives them an extra stipend of state money to jack up their salaries. That's one way he does it. Another way he does it, and some of the lawmakers in all the different communities to varying degrees also get other jobs. So you might.
Whoa! Hold it! Break that down. Say that again. Right? Say it again.
I'm going to say it again. He helps them get other jobs. So they're part-time lawmakers who really don't do anything except move paper around that he allows to happen. They go down there and they give all these speeches like it matters. They sit there and vote on stuff in committees like it matters. Yet this one man, this one little guy, this one little white dude in a back room, think about this. He decides by himself whether or not to call a bill or not call a bill. And if he doesn't want to call a bill, it ain't going nowhere. So when I wanted him to call mammograms and pap smears for free mammograms and pap smears for uninsured women, which are low-income women, disproportionately women of color, he wouldn't do it. So I went around,
They were black. Go ahead.
He wouldn't call the bill because he knew if he called it, you have to vote for that. I mean, who's going to vote against that? So I did it on my own, and that's when he, again, was talking about doing impeachment. But he does it through committee chairmanship, and then he helps these lawmakers get other jobs. So you might be a legislator on part-time, and then you get a job with the Board of Education. You may be a legislator sometime, and get this, you're working for Commonwealth Edison. And the Commonwealth Edison-Madigan relationship goes back to the very beginning, probably in the early 70s, and certainly it's been a very close working relationship with Madigan since he's been the Speaker, and that was since 1983. And they do a lot of stuff for Madigan, and he, of course, does a lot of stuff for them. And who pays? The consumer pays. Your utility rates are much higher. It costs you a lot more money to turn your lights on. You got to call 911. Look at AT&T and the allegations now. You call the police.
Hold on. Back up. Go to the AT&T piece for me real quick, because Governor, I want to point out something to you real quick, and I'm gonna share a story. My first experience with the Madigoons was during your first election. There was a coordinated campaign between Democratic Party of Illinois and the Speaker's office. And so the coordinated campaign, they told us to come pick up the signs. Alderman Mel had hooked me up and said, man, I need you to help my son-in-law. And so I jumped on, and he hooked me up, and I went to go to the office on the west side. It was on 18th and Pulaski. I go to the basement, and the Madigoons are operating their office. And I'm supposed to be passing out the signs for all of the Democratic candidates, right? They gave me like 500 of the party signs, and they gave me like 10,000 Lisa Madigan signs. It was crazy, man. It's crazy. So AT&T, when I ask you about places like AT&T, I want to know about this thing that happened with ComEd. Does it also happen with other utilities?
Yes, of course, with all of them. Anything that requires legislation has to go through Madigan. All roads lead through him. And with him, everything is transactional. I used to vent, and I would actually have conversations with him. And I'd say to him, why can't we just do something that's really good for the people? Everything have to be, we got to make a deal on something. I'm prepared to do it. I'll offer you X, Y, and Z. In other words, legal horse trading stuff, not, stuff for him personally directly. But I'll support you different things. But why don't we provide health care to everybody in Illinois, affordable health care, when we have the power to do it? Emil Jones will do it. I'm totally for it. Why are you standing in the way of this? Why can't we just do what's right for the people once in a while, and instead of always trying to get some sort of a deal? But if it's a deal that you want, I'll do that too. But even there, see, he would rather not make a deal than actually get everything done for the people. Because why? He loses power. Why? Because he wants everybody to have to come to him. He wants to keep everybody dependent, and that's how he maintains his power base. And it's remarkable to me because, as you just described, and I just described as well, there's this awe about him in Springfield, the speaker. And he's just a little itty-bitty guy, man, with skinny little arms. Standing in the school, he would have got his ass kicked.
Man,
you know what I'm talking about?
I swear to God, I said, I promise you, him and all the Madigoons. I feel like all our guys, if we saw them outside and they didn't have the speaker and they didn't have all that political power, we would kick their asses physically. Like literally. And I promise you, I'm going to court every single day. Governor, talk to me, man. Talk to me about this net that he's in. Everyone seems to think that he's still going to be craftier than the federal government. What kind of tactics do you think they're going to use? And, do you think they can crack his inner sanctum?
Yeah, and that's a great question. The answer is, when the Titanic, look, I've been the captain of the Titanic. I know what it's like when that ship goes down, and you're the captain, and you got to go down with that ship because everybody else gets off. Okay, they're going to all leave Madigan. They're not going to stay, and they're not going to take the hit for him. And if necessary, they'll lie to protect themselves, which is what these prosecutors make people do. So, in my case, I saw how it is, and and it's. In fairness to some of the people, they've got families of their own, and they're asked to make a choice. Now, I think you ought to be strong and do what's right. But in fairness, I truly believe. Look, I don't think there's any doubt that the allegations against Madigan, many of them, have actually happened. It's a fact that he pushed legislation that benefited Commonwealth Edison to the tune of $150 billion. That's a fact. That's not in dispute. The fact that Commonwealth Edison admitted to using lobbyists to shower jobs and contracts and payouts for one purpose. They said it expressly in court documents to gain favor with Madigan. It's a fact that AT&T did in fact get a rate increase so that when you call the police, it's going to cost you more money. Madigan pushed that bill. Here's a fact. Pritzker, our governor, did appoint Mike Zalewski. Alderman Zalewski's a Madigoon. His son's a Madigoon. He's a state rep. Zalewski's wife is appointed to the Illinois Commerce Commission, the head of the commission that regulates the utilities. And that's where the rate increases start. It's a fact Madigan put Zalewski's wife there as the chairman of the Illinois Commerce
Governor.
Commission.
Let me stop you. How is this possible in Illinois? Like, I some of these things that I see happening, it's almost like, how can the same person subsequently raise our taxes, vote to raise our taxes, and then lower the taxes of large corporations? How can I have no shade to Carrie Zalewski, right? Like, no diss, but how can she preside over a case where her own family is part of the investigation and nobody says this is wrong? Like, how?
Right. Well, I know that's right, because they have a way of doing business down there, and again, it's all deference to the speaker, and they pretty much that's how they. It's a mindset, and you get co-opted when you get down there. You don't go home enough, I guess, and you just feel like this is how business is done. It's business as usual, and the people are out there, and they got to pay for this corrupt system. Illinois is the highest tax state in America. And I'll give you one reason why that's the case, Mays. You know what that one reason is? Mike Money Madigan. You know Floyd Money Mayweather? I'm calling him Mike Money Madigan. That's why people pay the highest taxes in Illinois over any other state in America. The highest property taxes, sales taxes, the income tax. Now they want to raise the income tax. They call it a progressive tax. And while that's fundamentally fair, I know what they're doing here. This is a Trojan horse to raise taxes on most everybody else.
Could you explain that, Governor, very quickly? Because they call it a fair tax. But here's my thing. If the person pushing the fair tax made their family wealth by avoiding taxes, who should we really trust here?
Yeah, don't trust Pritzker. I mean, again, right, he cheats on his property taxes and does that little shenanigan thing with his big mansion over there on Astor Street or wherever he lives. And,
but he paid back
what
that.
What do they call it, toilet gate?
He paid that back, though, Governor. I mean, he gave him the money back.
Well, he got caught. He got caught. He paid it. That's an admission that you owed it, you didn't pay it. No, Madigan's play to survive is Biden. That's his only chance. Because look, when they come out publicly and they say what they just said about him, and they make it obvious he's public official A, they got a target on his back. They've had it on it for a long time. They've gathered enough information. They've gotten enough stuff from people where they believe they can prove a case already. Now they're just trying to strengthen their case. That's why they put that announcement out. So they got a target on his back. Madigan's play is real simple. Number one, at all costs, he must stay as Speaker and remain chairman of the State Democratic Party of Illinois. That's the first thing he has to do politically. So he's got to save himself politically. That's what he's struggling to do right now. That's why he's not going to resign. That's why he's making all these calls to lawmakers to back him up. Then he holds on to that, and that's a bargaining chip for him later on in the event that he gets indicted, which could very well happen. Now, the way he avoids indictment is he holds on until Biden. If Biden wins, his bet is if Biden wins, Biden will appoint a new U.S. attorney, a Democrat, and behind the scenes again, here we go again, there'll be a lot of backroom wheeling and dealing with political leaders in my party, Democratic Party, to try to save Madigan's ass. And they're going to try to make a deal where the new U.S. attorney who gets appointed to Illinois is going to be one who's going to quietly agree to let the Madigan thing just kind of fade away. That's Madigan's play. If that doesn't happen, Madigan is facing some very serious problems and some long, dark days. That's how it is looking forward. And I would say this, and this is really important for your listeners to hear. Because we pay such high taxes, because ordinary people have to pay high utility rates that are corruptly unfair. I call these things corruption taxes. Little by little, they've been doing this to people in a sneaking way. Sales taxes in Cook County are higher than any other county in the country because our sales tax at the state level is real high. Okay, those are taxes that disproportionately impact people living on fixed incomes. They're unfair taxes that hurt ordinary people and poor people. Okay, so it doesn't happen all at once. You never know. You really don't know what they're doing it to you because they do it incrementally. That crafty little guy does it, and because he's got time in his hands, because he's been there since 1983, he's been able gradually to do this sort of thing, and he'll continue to do it if he remains in power. Now, if he's truly innocent, Mays, here's my advice to him. If you're truly innocent, you ought to do what an innocent man does, which is what I did. You go out there and fight. You don't hide behind your back room or behind press releases and have your press secretary make statements saying the speaker did nothing wrong. You go out there yourself and you say it, and you take questions from the media because you owe it to the public as a high public official to explain yourself.
Now,
so they
Governor.
were accusing me of my stuff. I was what?
Now, Governor. Now I gotta ask you.
I'm sorry.
I gotta ask you this. Now, are you telling them this? Because I remember when you went to go fight, the next thing we know, they was knocking at your door. Now, are you telling them to go fight so they can knock at his door quicker, or are you actually advising him to go out and fight? Because if either one is good with me, right? I just hope they knock quicker. But tell me what your real thought is.
No, they were knocking. Look, when they came out with that announcement of 2 weeks ago, they were already in a more gentle way. They're knocking at his door. They're coming at him. They're coming after him, and they've accused him of. He's been accused of some very serious things. This guy's presiding over systemic corruption that costs people a lot more money in taxes and utility rates and other things. Where he's become rich, his family's gotten rich. Every one of his children have jobs in law firms or in insurance companies that are connected to state business. Okay, it is a criminal enterprise that he's running. That Illuminati, like you say, is absolutely right. No, but if he's saying that the things that we're doing are legal and these things aren't crimes, then he must get out there and say it himself. Because again, we're not, guys like me and him, when we're facing the stuff that he's facing and that I faced, we have a higher responsibility than just protecting ourselves because we're businessmen. We're elected officials, high elected officials, with a duty to the people who hired us. That's who we work for. Therefore, if I'm being accused of crimes that I didn't commit, my responsibility is to myself, my own integrity, my reputation, my wife, my children, my late parents, but also to the public that hired me. I have a responsibility to go out to the public and say, look, this ain't true. They're lying on me. I didn't do those things, or I did those things, but so what? Those things aren't crimes. I've got to explain to you people, this isn't right, and I didn't do it. I have to say that to you because I can't tolerate the thought that you think I'm dirty that way and I sold you out. But notice how Madigan's not doing that. He's doing it, again, as he always does, behind closed doors with press releases. He has yet to publicly come out there and take questions and explain himself directly to the people. If he's truly innocent, he must do that. If he can't do that, then he ought to resign. Because think about this, Maze. The Democratic Party is entering an election year. And in Illinois, the land of Lincoln, the fifth largest state in America, the Democratic Party is led by a party chairman who isn't just a political boss. He looks like he's being accused of being a crime boss. Ooh. And the fact that the Democrats in Illinois allow that, and the governor allows it, this is not a party that's for the people. It's a party that's run by, Rodrigo Borgia, that corrupt pope back in the 15th century.
Woo! Hey, let me tell you what. Gov, that's why I'm going to tell you are a social media sensation. The Maze Jackson family is going crazy. I'm going to tell you now, if you ran for office on the black side of town, I think you get elected one more time. You get my vote, and I think there's a lot of black folks that still would. That stated, Gov, we got to let you go. I want to tell you how much I appreciate you. And I got to send a big shout out to my man, Mark Vargas, who is always responsive to our call. And Gov, y'all got to get me on that podcast, man. What's up?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You want to do that? I'd love to have you. You kidding me?
Man, I'd love to do it.
I'll follow up with you.
All right, man. We'd love to get you a show over here, man. So let's talk about it.
I love you, Todd. All the best. And I love the black side of town. God bless you. I went to prison because you elected me.
Hey, thanks. Thank you, Governor. We appreciate you. Hey, y'all. This is What's in It for the Black People Radio live on WBGX 1570 AM. Give us a call. What's your thoughts? Response. Give us a call or response on Governor Rod Blagojevich calling in. 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. The call lines are open.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
Yeah. Whew. Okay. Todd, I'm giving you the camera. You can give your feedback. You like unpack.
Hey, I don't know what to say. That was a good interview for sure. You had a lot to say. I do think Madigan and Governor Blagojevich definitely have two different styles. So I never really seen Speaker Madigan go out and be in front of the cameras. Excuse me. I don't think being part of his persona is I'm going to use my personality to get my my message across. I think Governor Blagojevich used his charisma to try to get people to pay attention. Shoot, maybe for Speaker Madigan, it's just the opposite. It's like, all right, stop looking over here. It's interesting, but I think he's got a point. I mean, the governor has a point. Unless the U.S. attorney didn't think, no, that's not a good sentence. The U.S. attorney obviously thinks they have a strong case, or they wouldn't have mentioned the speaker as whatever that is, individual A. So we're really just waiting for their date. You know, those guys can be very political. They might be waiting for closer to the election. Even though they always try to make it sound like, well, we don't want to be making any things that'll influence elections. I don't trust them when they say that. I think they're just as political as everybody else. And they're probably waiting for a good date.
What?
The U.S. attorney, yeah.
Oh, they looking for some symbolism.
Yeah.
Like, what's the day of the St. Valentine's Day massacre?
That would be fun.
Days are here again. Nay. Yeah. Happy days are here again. Hey, yeah.
Advocate for black people in the world.
You are listening to What's In It for the Black People Radio live on WBGX 1570 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Hey, Todd, we just got through talking to former Illinois Governor Blagojevich. Give us a call, 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Todd, what were your thoughts? The phone lines are open. Andre, I see you. We're going to take you in a minute. But, Todd, give me your thoughts on Governor Blagojevich. Do you think he was telling people to go out there and defend himself? Do you think he was sincere, or do you think he was like?
Well, no. I think what he was trying to picture, not picture, but he was trying to make the picture that when you are not guilty of something, that you should be out fighting for yourself.
Is he concerned about the fact? Do you think that the speaker is concerned that anything he says in public will be used against him? If he's out there saying,
well, while you were out of the room, I was saying that the governor's style has always been to go out and be charismatic, and I've never thought that was the speaker's style.
Right. He eats an apple and sits at his desk very straight.
Right. He's the
epitome of.
He's a tactician type, and yeah, he's gonna have a pen and a piece of paper,
and he's not going to say much. He's going to let you struggle as you try to get words out. Like how you waiting for
right, there's no helping you.
Right. There is no. So, man, talking to former Illinois Governor Blagojevich, I'm going to tell you. So, do you think they got the speaker? Or do you think that the speaker, as the Springfield crew, thinks that he is smarter than the federal government? I don't think.
I don't know if it's got anything to do with brains. I think that the governor was right. The only reason they release that and say that he is what's a government official A?
Official A, yeah.
Yeah, is because they think they have him right where they want him.
and they just thought I had a good friend, so I got some good friends.
Or they also think that if they actually put it out in the world,
people will come in.
Yeah, more people be like, yeah, he sure is.
Well,
or, I better fall over now.
So from what I've been hearing, right? What I've been hearing is that the feds have been like tossing people's homes, showing back up. Like even the tough guys, like that don't want to act like they trying to hold out because they think it's mob stories, are starting to get roused. One of the things that somebody brought up to me was that a lot of the people that have been named have children, right? Like they have children, they have families, they have wives that are somewhere twisted in the mix, right? And so usually
the government, when they come to talk to you, they don't come to talk to you, they come to talk to you about everybody in your life.
Exactly, and how much do you care about them and the love of them. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see. I'm going to go to the live line because we got my man Andre Smith on the live line. Dre, you on the Mace Jackson Show. What's up, brother?
Man, first of all, good morning, Todd. Good morning, Mace, and the rest of my family. Look, I love me some Rod Blagojevich, man. You know, I mean, you know, we understand why they came against him, but you got to remember also that he was an attorney. He laid the facts out perfectly, you know, and he had the experience of dealing with the feds. So the thing about it, Mace, you know, the speaker got that file on all those other elected officials. Man, this gonna be worse than a silver shovel. This thing, when it comes down, oh my God, because the speaker gonna save himself.
I don't know if the speaker, you know, I was gonna say, Dre, though. I think I've been hearing that. I don't think he really can save himself. I think here's the thing.
No, when I say save himself, he gonna try to bargain for the lessest time he can get. But it's gonna be a lot of those elected officials gonna fall because he got that file on.
Now I'm agree with you on that. I think he's gonna be trying to negotiate time off at the expense of. You know what? I think you got a point there, Dre. One of the things I was talking about.
Hey, Mate, in closing, look, that's why ain't none of them saying nothing, man. They so scared. No.
Jay, you're right, because that's what they saw what he did to Ken Duncan. And can I tell you something? Here's the thing. So the funny part is during and I'm thanks, Trey. The funny part is Todd. So during that Ken Duncan thing, and they started pulling up they did all the opposition research. You know how like after you get tired of getting punched in the mouth, you say, okay, well I'm gonna punch back. So I did a lot of opposition research on a lot of state legislators who were talking smack. And Andre's kind of right? Like in the mix of all of them, there's something, right? Like you got some people with domestic batteries that are sealed, but you know those things can be unsealed, or if you got the original paperwork, then it's really not sealed, right? So you got people who have domestic batteries. You have people that have gun charges. You have people that have things that happen to them in life, but when they became a member of the family, those things became suppressed, right? I can almost guarantee you that in those phone calls, that you don't have to say it, you know it's in the back of your mind. So when I call you and I know that I got your pictures of you with your pants down, and I call you and say, you still with me? I ain't got to say I still got the pictures. You just know I got the pictures. Right? And so I think that is part of the reason why you haven't seen very many people talking out loud. But what I will tell you is that it is become blatantly apparent that everybody like younger than the speaker who has a family or who has kids or who would like the opportunity to see their kids again, because you know how Rod did 14 years? Like they thinking like the same thing, right? They thinking like, man, imagine if I got all the stuff that I was running around bragging about that we got for him, right? Now, imagine if you are let's say you're a young Latino lobbyist, got a couple kids, billing over $1 million a year. You was a former elected official. You know what I'm saying? You got deals all over the place. You feeling good. Everybody loves you. And the Fed's knocking on your door. You got two young boys Them two young boys, you standing up for the speaker?
Well, I would think you'd say whatever you know, because yeah, I mean,
you know what's
like to see your children.
Here's the craziest part to all of this to me, Todd. Do you know all these white boys that we know are under investigation are still eating? Like, think about this.
Nothing really matters until you go to court.
Unless you're black.
Well,
right.
When you're black, they're like, you're fired.
Right. Let me help you understand, Todd.
I told you your boy Ben Bradley. It's like, well, why didn't you fire him? I was like, well, we don't know if you're guilty yet.
And that's what the black folks are saying. But here's the thing: the white folks. I'm just telling you, Todd. It's going down. And the challenge right now, in this whole process, is the white Let me back up. All the white Matagoon lobbyists who are named in all these documents are still walking around here punking monks. Like, I'm just saying.
They still got the clout.
Here's my thing.
At least there's the feeling.
How is anybody that's named in these documents still walking into a black person's office? You ain't walking in no white people's office. Because the black people be like, man, we know you ain't guilty till you're guilty. However, to me, the same white people that's walking in your offices is the same white boys who ain't cut you into nothing. Right? So they still coming to your office not feeding nobody, still with the premise like, y'all gonna do it anyway. Like, here's my thing. Paula, I said I was gonna publish a list of lobbyists, but I just think that we should make sure that all the lobbyists that have been part of this corruption thing, they shouldn't still be juicy. Right? They shouldn't still be, black people shouldn't still be feeding them. Like, really. I just think, like...
haven't we said black people ain't feeding black people?
But they gonna keep feeding the white boys that was stealing your lunch? Y'all...
Well, then I would say then that means that it's time to say, you know what, I think I know somebody who can do this job.
That's my point. Black elected officials, pay attention. Like, this is all I'm saying. If them same white boys are coming into your office, can I help you understand too? That they still fishing? Like, here's the thing. The white boys that are under investigation, when they go to help, how about the fact that they help on anybody? Not just Madigan. If they can get you, they gonna get you. So why is that guy or guys, why are they still walking into your offices in and out and about? Help me understand that. You think they got some love for you? No, they trying to figure out how they can sacrifice you too. Look, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, when we come back, I want to talk about the gang war map. No, literally. There's a gang war map that was actually drawn, published, and is out.
Am I in it?
No, fortunately, but you got to drive through it to get home. We'll talk about it all when we come back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
We were in Politico for that. Politico advertised that today.
That the governor's gonna be on?
Mm-hmm. They said he got dirt. Madigan got dirt on all the former politicians except for you.
I don't think it's. I don't think that's why people don't talk about him. I think people don't talk about him because people are afraid of power.
Yeah, I would agree with that to an extent. What I'm saying is though, I believe that that's the hanging shit. Like again, I just think that from the college degrees all the way up to the side job, he's got something. He's like, you owe him.
Oh, you owe him.
Right.
That all stops once he's not there. So
Huh?
That all stops when he's not there. So I don't know why people would let that bother them. Nobody lives forever. There's going to be a new king eventually.
You are listening to Maze Jackson live on the WBGX 1570 AM. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger, plus Miss Sonia Escobar rocking out with y'all in the background. Todd, did you see the gang war map?
No, but it sure sounds interesting.
Todd, there's a gang war map. So let's back up. Today is Wednesday. Not yesterday. This day is Thursday. So 2 days ago, Tuesday, rapper FBG Duck was the victim of a gangland hit. And I'm going to describe it as a gangland hit. Like the old days of the mob, right? Like that was some stuff you hear about like in The Godfather, right? Like they pulled up, however, it was on Oak Street. 70 East Oak Street in front of the Dolce & Gabbana store. It was crazy.
Luckily, I don't go to that.
The response, though, is what concerns me. So we said that this beef was started over, and I'm going to use gang now as compared to organization. Because I think when I think of organization, I think of the old way that the city was organized, right? With, like a hierarchy. I think it's now block by block. People still represent the same names, but it's like this GDs versus GDs and all that stuff. That was all like not really a thing because there was regulation. So let's be clear that...
Yeah, I was kind of reading an article that an academician wrote about the same thing. He's saying exactly the same thing.
Well, I think we knew this a while. I think that the challenge is that it makes people comfortable to feel like they can go back to that old model. Like I think we've all recognized that the old heads and the hierarchy and all of that stuff no longer exists. I think that the city, county, and state and elected officials are just now getting to that point because they wanted to have the illusion that there was someone that could control it. Right. They wanted to have the pretend that at some point there would be like somebody taking care of Robert Yummy Sandifer. Right. We got 300,000 Robert Yummy Sandifers running around, and there is no hierarchy to deal with that.
I realized that when Big Will got shot on 95th. Oh, that's over.
Right. Well, but again, and part of it is you got old guys that were in that life that. The way that they survive because their organization didn't feed them is the violence prevention money, right? And so the way you get the violence prevention money is by saying that I am able to control the violence or through, and then it fits into the old narrative of we're gonna talk to the old chief, he's gonna take care of it, etc. Right. Well, after I got through watching Duck's video, I'm just going to say I'm kind of wondering how did it take so long? And I don't mean that as... Man, bro, I listened to the song and he literally ticked off a list of people that they killed and were almost laughing about it. Then somebody told me yesterday that when they roll up a blunt on the video and smoke it is symbolic of them killing your people.
Ah.
Right? And it's supposedly the ultimate disrespect. Now, I got to get Ruthie in here because I can't trust you. But I'm saying all that.
I'm telling you, I've been reading. So, well, they wrote an article in the Trib. I don't know if you saw that. Mm-hmm. And there was, or maybe
the Trib, and they said
maybe I saw it on Facebook. I don't remember.
There was 2 articles. There was the one that I saw on Anton Steele's page, and then there was the one that was in the Tribune that said that the gang, it was a part of a rap beef. The videos that they talked about it, and it was good. Now they're worried. The police are worried about the response.
Right.
Then they said the police said they issued a warning to each other, like, "Yo, if you over in these areas, be careful, cause these guys have high-powered artillery and blah." And it was kind of like the police was like, "It really is a war zone."
Yeah.
And let's stay from over there.
You know what this is like?
What?
This is like
The Purge.
The 80s when Roxanne was going back and forth, the real Roxanne and all that.
Well, no, it ain't.
But with guns.
Well, exactly. But
yeah.
And then I was thinking,
a lot of back and forth.
It is a lot of back and forth.
I'm gonna say something back.
Like, again, I'm going back to my C. Dolores Tucker. Now, let me ask you a question. Is this one of those things now that we feel like? So first of all, I was thinking, like, how do you stop this? I was gonna say YouTube needs to ban the videos. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but I remember the first time I saw Chief Keef's video and they was smoking, and it was like he was on house arrest and they had all them guns up in the house. I was like, y'all realize y'all making a video of this whole thing. I got you.
Why he was on house arrest?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He left because he had a whole bunch. He had a whole bunch of stuff. But here's my thing. That video, literally, they ticked off at least 15 people. Then the next
who
had been killed, who they basically said we did it.
Uh-huh.
Then the other group was like, yo, they did a video we saw. Remember yesterday we saw from Jasmine? They had already cut a video about the assassinate, or the murder, the gangland hit that they had already done. So let's just be clear.
So somebody in my group is talented enough to be able to artistically say what we've done,
but they ain't even rapping. They just like, I killed your ass.
Oh,
huh? Jeez. Okay, and then here's the other thing that I'm noticing now, that all of these rappers are hybrid gang members. It's like, and I'm using gang because even though they use the old names, that is a block. It's a like you. I'm looking at this.
That's what the academician was saying. Is that unlike the old days where there was a business aspect, it's now it's more like we live here, so we're part of the gang, and we just do things together.
And we're going to and now,
and that's not necessarily actually making money.
And but then they add this rap element to it, right? And so now you getting signed. These drill artists are getting signed, right? So now you get signed to a record deal. And I remember when they signed Chief Keef. And so the new Todd. So here's what I was thinking. I'm thinking about the fact that these kids are rapping and the police know who everybody is. Now, y'all can say what y'all want to say, but if that map is true and the police are basically reporting that it is, are we not supposed to want the federal government to come now? And what is
I don't think people are.
And what's the mayor saying? But well, here's my thing. The mayor was busy like minimizing it. She was like, "You got that audio? Okay, we gotta go to. Let's do this. Let's go to the top of the hour. We'll come back and then we'll finish this discussion. It's the Maze Jackson Show." Like, did you hear her when she said it was just a guy who fancies himself a rapper?
I think I did read that. Somewhere.
Okay, so. Again, you know, that goes back to that whole minimizing, basketball dunking, all of that good stuff. It's like you're not effectively communicating to them. And then you just diss them.
What do you mean not trying to? Is that
right,
what you
right. Now, I'm saying she kind of poo-pooed it. But it's like it's erupting straight up. Like, do you understand, Todd? You got to understand, they got a map. The police were basically saying, this shit is real. Then somebody sent me a text this morning because the other group, hold on. The post says, "Get back for Facebook FBG Duck Worldwide. Details. For FBG Duck, I'm hosting a worldwide event called Get Back. You gotta slide on all the BDs anywhere and get your blick and catch a body. Let's get this shit started Friday night."
I understood like 1% of what you just said.
Okay, so basically they saying they put on Facebook that they made a Facebook event that they starting a war.
Oh. I don't like that.
And they saying they're telling all of the GDs to find a BD and shoot them.
Oh.
Blick.
That's what that is?
Yes. Now, what does that mean for anybody driving in that area?
Well, we already figured out that there's no place safe anymore. Well, I mean, it's just the have gun will travel.
So what do?
You want the U.S. Attorney to start...
You want the U.S. Attorney or you want the Fed? You want the National Guard?
No, you want the U.S. Attorney. No, I don't want the National Guard. I don't know. Have we gotten to the National Guard? Maybe we have. Maybe, I don't know.
If there's a full-out war...
That means that it's a shutdown, like curfew.
Do you think it should be stop and frisk?
Home at 6.
Should it be stop and frisk?
My sheriff friends, they say stop and frisk was a great tool for them.
To me,
my activist friends say stop and frisk just means, hey, black guys, come over here. Which I don't doubt, actually.
I'm so into.
I think when things are out of hand, sometimes you...
Audrey, the map is on my Maze Jackson, the regular page. Look at the post when I said there's a real gang war. That map is there, but it's over by that area over by O Block, 63rd and King Drive and all of that. Because Joe, I don't think he has any say in that. Hocus ain't no hocus pocus. Said and done, they will all know us. But you woke us. Put you down. Let me see you smile. Sunshine, you're beautiful inside, yeah. Hey, rise up, yeah. Don't you know you can spy? You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show live on WBGX 1570 AM. Now I'm going to tell you, you can get us on Facebook Live. That's right, go to the Maze Jackson page. Or you can go to, you can also get us on the TuneIn app. You can also get us on YouTube. Hey, also, let me tell you, 1570 AM, I am your host, Maze Jackson, co-host Todd Stroger. But Todd, you know we got to say what's up to the musical conductor of the soul plane, Miss Sonia Escobar. Todd, so I want to go back because I do feel like this is a situational alert. I did not publish. I got the map published on my Mays Jackson page, and I'm gonna go look at it, Todd, because not my fan page, but my personal page. Because yesterday, I learned a lot. First of all, let me say this: we probably need to start checking out Twitter, right? Because the shorties, they put it all on Twitter. All of it. They real time. Now, I'm looking at this map and it's saying Jar City, Savage Squad, Parkway Gardens, Oak Block, Chief 600. Man, I'm looking at this list and Todd, they literally, here's the map. They literally dropped the map out saying where they was going, the kill zones and all that.
That's on your page. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah. So I want to first of all, Tiger. Hey, Tiger Lily, do me and Tia Ewing show. Let me back up. Tia Ewing from Fox 32, and she got a new jewelry line too. So y'all make sure y'all support on that too. Tia published the map, and I was like, wait a minute, is this real? And she basically said, yes, it is real. Now, I know these kids know how to use the internets and all of that good stuff. But, Todd, what does this mean for our community? Because you know what? It's fun. There's a few things I want to touch on.
Lockdown.
Few things.
That'll be coming soon.
Well, do we need a lockdown? Like, so what happens if we see an explosion of warfare this weekend? Did I show you the text I saw that somebody sent me yesterday from Twitter, too? It said that the get back for FBG duck worldwide, and it said the detail. It said public. Somebody actually publicly posted this by OJ Santana, an online event. It said 7 were going, 20 were interested, and it was shared 23 times. And it said for FBG duck, I'm hosting a worldwide event called Get Back. You gotta slide on all the BDs anywhere. That means you got to creep up on them and get your blick gun and catch a body. Let us get this beep started Friday night. That sounds like an open declaration of war. Now, what I'm not sure of is how real is that? Right? Like, it almost seems crazy that someone would put that out.
Right.
Like, it almost seems unreal. But will more people a lot of people that I trust in this game, I like is real. Now, if you live anywhere in the vicinity of those neighborhoods, what is your answer? Like, you know, I first of all, where is the are we seeing the violence prevention people descending on this area? Right, we saw $900 million went to violence prevention. Or let's say 300. How many of those millions are going over there to break up the war? What's the strategy right now? You know, when the mayor came on the news and said it's a young a young man who fancies himself a rapper, it almost seems like she was poo-pooing the fact that this is real.
Yeah, right.
Like, it really wasn't that big a deal. No, ma'am. There was a shooting on Oak Street. I'm going to take my man Devin Gordon's point, because Devin said, well, would it have been better if it was in the hood? No, actually, I do think, and Twin said the same thing. Better they go shoot downtown than shoot around our neighborhoods. Right? I'm not, one of the things I've always said is, I ain't going to lie. Like, did you take it somewhere else? Take it somewhere else. I ain't tripping if you do it somewhere else. Don't bring it over here. Remember Alderman Burnett was saying yesterday, they come back to do their dirt in the neighborhood. Well, they moved it to Oak Street.
Right.
They moved to Oak Street. I'm not, did you see the white lady said she had a shooting on the block? She was like, we're moving. This is outlandish. I mean, I have to look over my shoulder. I mean, I'm used to walking around barefooted and flip-flops without ever having to worry about anything. And now, I'm just telling you.
I understand, lady. I feel the same way.
So now my question becomes, Todd, did you see the okay, so the police issued themselves a warning. They did. You read in the paper. They was like, we urge you to move with caution through this area because All of them have high-powered weapons. If you see the video, I was like, I ain't got no equipment for that. And when the Chicago Police Department issues, they have high-caliber artillery and weapons. What does that mean for that community? And what is the plan? Like, I feel like...
I thought about this morning, actually, when I was driving here. Not completely what you're saying, but I was thinking that whenever there have been things of this nature, there is a federal response. And that generally helps calm things down.
We have an open declaration of war. Now, maybe I'm amping this up. Maybe I'm missing something here. But I do know that, just think about this. This is the same city that just a month or so ago, part of the reason we're here is because they engaged street organizations to patrol their neighborhoods. And we saw how that turned out. Now we're in a situation where the streets are saying they're going to take those neighborhoods. Now, we also know that in these groups, Todd, that there is not a concern for life of innocence.
Not a concern for life at all. But when have you ever seen that?
But I guess my question is, I've never seen an open declaration of war not like in writing where they done declared and we know that they're capable of doing it. When we know that they just went downtown and committed a gangland hit on, and like it was clearly organized. It was well thought out. Like they literally had the tail trail, follow the guy, know where he was, shoot him with 2 cars, and then escape.
Yeah, there was definitely well planned.
We can have Corey. You want to call in? We didn't say your name, Corey Brooks, but we will definitely let you call. Hey, Pastor Brooks, give us a call. 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. You know Corey is on the front lines over there. He is right there by Old Block. Here, right? And you know Corey, I ain't gonna even front, man. All the shorties always come over there and be like, Pastor Brooks. But I want to understand 259-7474. What's going on? 872-259-7474. See, y'all be doing this to me. I got to get one day when I'm rich. This all gonna change.
You have a PA?
Yeah, I'm gonna have somebody get over here, take the calls. Pastor Brooks calling. But I guess my question is, now what? How are we protecting our neighborhoods? I sure hope that don't nobody expect me, Mays Jackson, to go out and stop this. Like, I don't have the... I'm just telling you. Call me a punk, call me what you want to call me, but I'm not... what I'm going to do is go get my kid and say, stay your butt in the house. Now, here on the live line to talk to us, I don't know, did you say Corey Brooks? No. I didn't say Corey. So, you know that's my man, though, because y'all know y'all be tripping on Corey Brooks. Let me say what's up to my brother, Corey Brooks, tuning into the new show. What's up, Corey?
What's up, Maze? How you doing?
Man, I'm nervous, Pastor Brooks. Now, you know I don't really get down with a lot of the preachers, man. You're one of the few I do. But Pastor Brooks, what in the what is going on, man? And are we safe? Is this map real? Is this really, like, what's going on? Tell me real time, because I know if somebody knows, you do.
Well, first of all, thank you for even talking about it. I appreciate it. More people need to talk about stuff that goes on in our community instead of sweeping it under the rug. Secondly, there's a lot of fear-mongering, a lot of people trying to spread fear. They don't really know what they're talking about. Thirdly, that map is so incorrect.
Okay, thank you.
That, you know, the boundary lines of gangs doesn't really exist like that anymore. Woodlawn has changed drastically. And what people don't know is we have 10 full-time employees who, from all parts of Woodlawn, all ex-gang members, all from those different gangs that they're talking about. And we stay on top of the issue. And here's the last thing I want to say before I turn it back over to you, is that people need to do their research and learn some facts, especially when they're talking about me.
Wait, who said you?
The thing is this.
Wait, back up.
No, I'm just saying,
go ahead,
period.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying, period.
Okay.
As far as violence is concerned in Woodlawn, all around Chicago, violence has gone up. in Woodlawn, violence shootings have gone down. All they got to do is go onto a website called HeyJackass.com, and they can learn every shooting that goes on every minute. And over the last 6 months, our shootings have gone down. We were number 3 in our shootings in 2012. We're not even in the top 30 now in Woodlawn. So it's a lot of fear mongering and a lot of people saying things that are just not true.
So, Pastor Brooks, so first of all, thank you for clearing that up, because for the life of me, I couldn't understand how somebody would put out I know the world has changed, but man, if we had some opposition, I don't think we would publish a map. First, so where does this map come from? Where does the fear mongering come from? And then I gotta ask you this, brother. Is there going to be retaliation? Because I did see the police in the paper saying, man, that they were worried about what was going to happen.
Well, it's their job. They should be on top. All of these murders are retaliation. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. All of us live in the hood. You know about the hood, what's going on. All of these shootings are retaliation shootings. They've been going on for years, since the 80s, since the 70s. So for people to act like retaliation shooting is something new, man, this is the problem. This is what keeps going on year after year after year after year. It's passed down from generation to generation to generation, and everybody knows that, and we need to stop playing like we don't know.
So let me ask you a question. How do we, from your standpoint, how do we break it up? Because Pastor Brooks, I see all this money, hundreds of millions of dollars going to violence prevention and street, what do they call it? Street organization. I can't remember what all it is, but what I see is hundreds of millions of dollars going to violence prevention, and people out here claiming that they can stop this and stop that. They got the relationships with chiefs here and there. Well, how do we stop this? Like, who's telling the truth and who's not?
Yeah, Maze, good question. And this is the only way that I know, and it's been working for us. First, you got to get some individuals from all the different sets working together. So we have that. We have a violence prevention team to stay on top of anything that goes down. Secondly, you have to have some programs where they can bring their guys into so they can learn something that they can go to work. The problem is you have these individuals who lots of times high school dropouts, lots of times they're not working, don't have money, or whatever reason, and they're not doing anything. They just caught wreaking havoc on our community. So we got to get them into something like construction school, like we have a construction class. The last construction class that we had 30 students, and we made sure that those 30 students were representative of all the different cliques in our neighborhood. So for the first time, we had guys who would never ever work together in a class together. Now, the guys from two of the areas, one from Parkway and another one from Gyro, they work together on a construction crew full time, and that's the stuff that has to happen somehow, some way. We got to get these brothers engaged. And then the third thing, there's a younger generation that's playing, and that's the 13 to 16-year-old group that are shooters too. We got to get them mentored. We got to get to those guys. We got to make life better for them somehow, some way. And those are the things that we have to continually do over and over and over. And it's not just a one-shot thing. It's not just a one-year thing. It's a generational commitment.
Now, Corey, last one before we go, brother, because I got to let you go. You got your own program going. One of the things that I admire about you is that you have moved away from trying to get government funds to save us. That you have really built up your own kind of network machine. You've gone outside of the Chicago norm. Corey, talk to me about how you found a different path towards this, because it seems like so many of our guys are fighting to get money from Metropolitan Family Services or some other entity to try and be the violence outreach, and it's like a hustle now, right, to get the violence prevention money, because there's not really real economic wealth being generated in our community. So a lot of the guys that were the old guys are looking to get that violence prevention money, and it almost feels like it's a repetitive cycle that puts us back to fighting each other. What have you found that has worked, and how did you do it without so much government assistance?
So I agree with you wholeheartedly that we've had to depend too much on government to help us fix our issues, and most of that dependence has become a welfare dependence, where we have to depend on them to get their money to fix our problems. And as long as we have to do that, we never will be able to the capacity or get to the growth or to the area that we need to with our organizations. We'll always be small, weak organizations. So that's the reason why you see people like Metropolitan Family Services, other individuals get the money, because they're larger, they're more structured, they've been there. And because we've had to depend on just a little and then split it between so many groups, what we have to do is become economically stable. And I just chose to try to go outside the norm and corporations, people, find individuals who believe vision, share vision. It's a lot harder because you got to really go after these people and really build relationships, and it takes a lot of time and it's a lot slower. But it's the best way over the long term, because when they start talking about there's a new governor or a new mayor and they change, or a Cook County president, they want to change how to do things, they want to take the money, then you don't have to depend on them. You know, I don't have to depend on any government for anything, and I'm thankful for that.
Hey, let me tell y'all something. Let me tell y'all something real quick right now. I do not forgive my friends. Y'all have given, and I'm gonna tell you, when I remember when this dude came here and he was on the roof, I was like, who is this country dude on the roof of a church in the dead of damn winter, right? And I figured it was a stunt, but what I will tell you is that since Pastor Brooks has been there, he has always put his money where his mouth is. He has always been at the forefront, no matter how many times y'all dog him, no matter how many times y'all call him names, no matter who, he talks to everybody trying to make a difference. And quite frankly, we have seen a difference at 63rd and King Drive. We have seen a difference at O Block. And Pastor Brooks, I want to tell you personally, you know, I don't deny my friends, right? And so we appreciate you, what you're doing, and you keep on fighting, man.
Thanks, Maze. And I'm glad to see you still on the talk show, because we need your voice. We need you speaking to our community, because one thing I know about you is that you're going to tell people the truth. They may not like it, they may not want to hear it, but it's always truthful. So thank you for that.
Hey, brother, and I'm always here. So you know if they come, I'm going to be at the next board meeting. I know Helene done send me some emails.
Yes, sir.
I've been running around crazy. But as you can tell, brother, I've been trying to get something off the ground. Look, Corey, always, and, you know, keep us in the loop, man. And actually, brother, when you see these moments happening, right, call us. Don't let somebody say they heard your name. You call us and you put us up, because we know you right there in the mix, right? We know it.
Well, I got your new number locked in, so I'm going to do that, and I appreciate it.
All right, y'all. That is our Pastor Corey Brooks. That's my man, New Beginnings Church over there on 63rd and King Drive. Look, when we come back, I want to talk. It's interesting that Corey called in. I want to talk about black people defined. What do black people do? Yesterday, I was on the phone with a reporter from the New Yorker, right? And he was determined to make me say something, like to try and make me declare something bad or call somebody a racist, or right? He talked to Donald Trump. Are you mad? And it's like, no, I think that there's black people in all spaces and all segments. And I want to just talk about what do black people do. Somebody, I remember, she got a lot of hate, but I'm gonna tell you, I still love me some Condoleezza Rice, right? When we come back, we're gonna listen to a clip from Condoleezza Rice talking about institutional racism, and I think she had some poignant points. We'll talk about it when we come back.
The Maze Jackson Show will be back after this break.
The calls are back, baby. Man, if you go to Corey Brooks got every rich white dude in the whole entire world. Mm-hmm. They all contribute. I mean, you go to Corey Brooks's gala, it be the who's who of course. Like, he is like, you know what? I'm through messing with you Negroes.
Yeah, we went sat at your table. Yeah.
Oh, you did come. That's right. I'm sorry.
I told you we saw him in Dallas while he was walking.
Was he? Corey they be taking care of Corey, boy.
Oh yeah, he wasn't walking at the.
He was walking to a Rolls Royce probably. Them Texas millionaires love them some Corey.
Well, Janine at that time, I guess Janine Hahn said, "Hey, isn't that the guy on the roof?"
This is I talk to myself. Talk to myself, cause there is no one to talk to. People ask me why I do what I do. I talk to myself, cause there is no one to talk to. People ask me why I do what I do. Ask me why I do. I talk to myself, cause there is no one to talk to. People ask me why I do what I do. I talk to myself, cause there is no one to talk to. People ask me why I do. You are listening to the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, tell them to give us a call. 872-259-7474. 872-259-7474. Corey Brooks said we're fear-mongering that this war has been going on. Todd, I do think, though, that there is going to be some retaliation over this.
No, this isn't over.
No, there's going to be retaliation.
But, Superintendent Johnson told us that's pretty much what this has been going on in the last couple of years. Is people shooting people who they all know each other. They know they're going to get shot or they're going to shoot somebody soon. Somebody they know. It's not like they're just like coming out of the blue.
Well, I mean, I was listening to that song. He was like, "Don't let me be in your gangway," right? Like, don't let me be waiting in your gangway. I was just thinking, like, these guys are, man, make me looking over my back. I'm telling you, I'm staying in after 7.
Yes, I think I mentioned to you that Janine is like, it's time to go.
What, to move?
Yeah.
What, you gonna be doing the show remote from Florida?
Yeah, right. Because either we'll have to move down to, we wouldn't go that far for you, Mace. We'll just go down to like Pickneyville or Coal City or something.
Right, so then they can hang you up. It's gonna be like, get a rope.
We'd have to have those big old black curtains on our so they can see who we are.
Yeah, I gotta pull in the dark of nights. Pull in, go in the back door, get a walk-in garage.
Right.
No one sees you. You go through the air chamber.
I wonder what the new people are like.
Get 100% tint. So when you're driving through. And I want to send a big shout out to everybody who is sending us Facebook stars. We appreciate the love. Those stars are going to keep us alive as we continue to fund. I also want to encourage you all to continue to purchase advertising. Now let me just say something, because I saw y'all. I need to say this one more time. Somebody damn near cursed my sister out over $130 spot. Now I want to be clear. I appreciate every single person that wants to support us. One of the things that I think we got to get Tennille to do is come on and explain advertising, because I want to thank everybody for the support, but I also want you to understand, like, volume advertising, buying one commercial over one time is probably, I don't want to not appreciate it. What I want to do is make sure you understand that there's levels, right? And so what we're going to do is come on and talk about how do you place your ads and do it. But I want to encourage you all, if you want to support the show, stars only cost a penny. So even when you sending me 1,000, it's only $10. Not only, because that $10 means a lot. But I just want to tell you how much we appreciate you. We also will be going to a subscription base soon for some of the video. So Todd, I'm thinking maybe like the first hour we give it to them for free, and subscribers get the other two. Mm-hmm. Right? Or we give them 6 and 7. We give them 6 and 8 and don't get the 7 o'clock hour. Only subscribers get the 7 o'clock hour. Sonia, like, you can't get no live views of her, no drinks. Right? I'm gonna tell you, but I was thinking about when we do these stars, I'm gonna name them different things, like buy Sonia a drink, buy Todd a drink for 100 stars, right? And we're gonna have some fun with it, and we're gonna see who can get Todd drunk over the course of the time. Then we're gonna have edibles. Like, you could send Todd a brownie. Send Todd a brownie. Shout out to Ronald Holt, who is representing with us. Man, we got so many people.
My hip is hurting right now.
Oh, well, my cousin said he got something for you.
that can be very painful.
I'm suffering from current stress. What is it? Post-traumatic? I'm current. I'm current.
You're current. Right now.
Right. You know what? So before I go, I want to do a couple things. First of all, I think this all can work together. So I'm going to make it all work together. Here's what I'm going to do. Todd, one of the things I talk about oftentimes is white liberals and my disdain for them. And I do. I have a tremendous amount of disdain for white liberals. I have a tremendous amount of disdain for white liberals who have a very paternalistic approach towards black people. I don't disdain all white liberals, but the ones that, they know what's good for black people, right? I voted for Barack. I am with Barack. Yes, and, then they find a new person to latch on to. One of the challenges that I have is that we don't have a lot of... the instant thought is that black people should automatically be Democrats. And in a place like Illinois, it plays out in a very peculiar way. And I'm going to, first of all, I want to start with a clip from Condoleezza Rice. Now, I'm going to start with a clip from Condoleezza Rice because, I remember before George Bush was like the greatest thing since Barack Obama, everybody hated George Bush, right? But now we got Trump.
I don't think everybody thinks George Bush is the greatest.
Well, now that they got Trump to compare him to, they like...
Oh, well.
Right?
There you go.
See? So, but I remember Condoleezza Rice was Ain't Your Mama. She was... But I swear to God, I loved Condoleezza Rice because I was like, man.
And I swear to God, she loved George Bush.
She loved... Right? And
she
just like...
with the loving eyes. Like,
sort of like,
hey, he married, girl.
And then Michelle took it over. And then she was rubbing his hair. Passing candy. Y'all was loving that. Oh, look at them. He leaning all back. I was like, let me tell you, let me tell you, one of these white boys lay their head in my wife's anything, they getting beat down. I don't care how much you knew her, how much you love her. White boy, stay in your place. I know my wife fine. All right. So I find this happening all the time. Like, white liberals want you to declare, they want you to pick their racist, pick the other guy as the racist, right? Yesterday I was on the phone with the New Yorker, and I was doing a conversation, and they was just determined to make, they was asking me questions about this guy.
He was trying to make the interview for you.
He was trying to make the guy that he wanted to talk about racist. And what do you guys talk about? And what'd you think about that? And I was like, you know what? And I told him in the thing, I said, I think I prefer talking to him than white liberals who try to determine what's racism for me, right? And he was a liberal white guy, and he, you can tell he got his panties in a bunch. He was like, okay, we're moving on. I'll call you back on a different day. Not tripping. I want the New Yorker because, that would be my third time in the New Yorker if I get this one, so I'll take it. That's a big deal to the white folks. Sonia, play the clip from Condoleezza Rice on institutional racism.
I mean, is this something we should conclude that there is a systemic racism problem?
Well, I would like to have a better definition of systemic racism so that we can actually address it. We have a tendency to throw terms around and then we don't really know what they mean. So if by that we mean that there is something in the system that is part of the explanation for the persistent, the stubborn achievement gap between black students and white students, even when you control for economic conditions. Something's in the system that's causing that, because I don't actually believe that black kids are inherently less intelligent somehow. So something in the system is causing that. We know that in certain neighborhoods, policing looks different than it looks in other neighborhoods. And because of economic circumstances, those neighborhoods tend to be more minority than not. Is that something in the system? Yes, that's something in the system. But I think we have to break it down because, Peter, I'm someone who believes very much that we had a birth defect at founding. Slavery was a birth defect, and it still has an impact. When I hear people say, oh, I want us to be colorblind. No, I actually don't think we're ever going to be. I don't really care if we're colorblind. But I would like to get to the place that when you see somebody who is black, you don't have preconceived notions of what they're capable of, who they are, by the way, what they think, which is, I think, a problem of the left. You look at somebody who's black and you think you know what they think, or you at least think you know what they ought to think.
I think she hit it. I think she hit white liberals right on the head. And it came to me, you know what? It came full circle to me yesterday. You know why? Because remember we were talking about remember yesterday we were talking about, I lost my train of thought. Why this thing changes for me, Todd, and I'll tell you why it's a problem. I think, yesterday we were talking about cannabis, right? We were talking about cannabis. And then the Illinois Women in Leadership had a big old town hall yesterday, and it had Kim Fox, Juliana Stratton, Toy Hutchinson, and Jahan Gordon Booth. Mm-hmm. I like most of those people. But it was interesting because it was all about reshaping and rethinking the new civil rights movement, and here we got all these powerful black women, and the assumption was that they made that we were all on board and that we should all just be marching the party line. So then I RSVP'd, right? And when I RSVP'd, it said RSVP to New Chicago LLC. So I RSVP and it says, if you got a question, tell me which question it is in advance. And so then I look at the name and it's like Karen or Katie or something. I don't know, Karen's, Katie's. They're all the same. And I'm like, wait a minute, this panel with all these black people rethinking civil rights. And so then I Google New Chicago. And I open it up. And then first thing I always do, before I even read what they do, I be like, our team. I want to see our team.
Yeah.
And I look at this team that is holding a discussion on civil rights, the new rethinking civil rights, police, criminal justice reform. We got all these black women that are in charge of, that were over the cannabis, that we all less systematically franchised out of. And then I see them having this big old forum And all these black women, and nobody thought. So I go look at the company that put it all together. And can I tell you what? They didn't have one black person involved in the company. Now let me take you one step further though. And this is where it was insult to injury. They had a dog on the page as part of the team, and no black people. As they were showcasing the black women that are supposed to be ours. It's really crazy to me. Like, the fact that we had the 4 black women and they were doing this program and there's all these progressive white women, and then the company that gets the contract to market these black women is all white. And they even got a dog on the site.
Did the dog pass? Was the logo?
No, the dog, no, it was a live dog. Like a literal, it was like, here's our team. And there was a dog there, and there was not one black person.
Yeah, right.
Now, we would call, I was just thinking, like, how does that happen, Todd?
Oh, well, as you all know, elected officials tend to leave things up to other people. And maybe this is, when my dad was the finance chairman of the county and then the president, and he made it his business to see what was going on and saying, well, this guy can do this, or this lady can do this, and try to force them into the situation. Now, you may have had to start on the bottom, but, once you got it in the door, at least you had a chance to move up the ladder.
Now, Todd, here's the challenge. How are they having this conversation about rethinking civil rights and rethinking the people that are putting the conversation together? Like, we get to be the showpieces. This is all over again, man. How is it that they... Todd.
Well, what kind of dog was it? Was it a Rottweiler?
I guess my question, guys, becomes, like, when do we just stop hitting the party line? Like, we are literally, Todd, that was offensive to me.
No, the point is that if you are, this is how it's supposed to work. When, what's his name? When Pat Quinn was not the lieutenant governor, as I said, he was always peeing outside the tent.
Yes.
Once he got in the tent, he was like, uh-oh, I can't pee in the tent.
They was peeing on him in the tent, just so you know.
Well, no, he was like, I can't pee in the tent because I'm actually, I'm the ringmaster.
Right.
So he couldn't do it anymore. But since you're there, you are part of the show. That means you have to work with the other actors and force them to do some things that will benefit the people that you want. So it's the same thing with black people. If you're elected official, that means you're in the tent. You're in the tent. You cannot let the show go on without people from your area being part of it.
Here's the thing.
Or you're not worth anything.
Well, here's the thing. I think that the white guys get the marketability. So I'm going to just tell you. I was watching that thing yesterday, and I ain't going to even lie, I was disgusted. I ain't going to trip on my sisters. I ain't going to go out. But it was like, I was literally watching this as all of the white liberal women who would be Karen, in my estimation. Like, imagine Barbara Flynn Curry presiding over the conversation of participation in civil rights. Just think about that, right? Like the woman who displaced black people from getting into the spot is leading the conversation. See, Todd, I just think we've got a challenge right now because
I think we're challenged all the time.
I agree with that. I think that it was offensive to me to have all those white people on the call, on that Zoom chat, and we had all these black people, and they were telling, like, it was like the white people were agreeing as to why black people didn't get a piece. Like, you said, well, COVID happened and that's it. It's like, no, sis, you don't get that pass. But here's what I
also think it speaks to the problem that every firm shouldn't be either white or black.
Well, see, here's my thing. I'm saying that well, first of all, I'm going to say that there's not really that many good black fundraising companies. I was going to say, I would have used this as an opportunity to do a shameless plug for a black fundraising company.
You know what it is, because you got to, just like we were talking about in other industries, if you don't know them, they ain't answering your call.
Well, here's the other part. The part of, this is the fact. The white guys get the contracts and get the black people that make, it's not the fundraising group, it's the talent, it's the person. So if you got Kim Fox as your client, you're gonna win because Kim Fox is going to get contributions.
Right.
So if you give that to a white boy,
your biggest thing in the day is getting Kim Fox to sit down and make some calls.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If Kim Fox makes calls, you're successful. White guy gets that. There's the black firm. Let me tell you how the black firm works. The black firm. Let me stop. I ain't even go here. I was gonna say about it. You know how the black firm. I tried to, when we had a great candidate, I tried to give the black firm a candidate who could raise money, engineering the whole thing. The black firm was busy trying to be on Madigan's team to take out the black candidate as compared to winning. So I'm not going to support them. What I am going to say is that when Kim Fox or Toy Hutchinson or Jahan Gordon Booth or Juliana Stratton walks into New Chicago and they see no black people, somebody has to say, where's the black people? Right. Like, you know how where's the white women at? Like, right. I almost feel like the fact that you could even hold, like, how you going to tell somebody to sign a racial justice equality pledge so they can give you money, but then you won't hire no black people, and the people you hire don't have no black people? Where's the racial justice in there? Right. So here's me.
Oh, I'm sorry, Mace. I couldn't find anybody qualified. Oh yeah, that's it.
Right. That's what the white people say. Yeah. Now when the black, now I just want y'all to understand that this is the same group of people that presided over cannabis. So there were no black people at the firm that they hired to produce this event.
And they're talking about cannabis, which black people got none of.
Which they got none of. And all the white people are giving them nods of understanding and support because the white folks got theirs. Like, they literally on the call talking to the white people saying, and it's like, when I said, how did it happen that black people got nothing? And it's like, I mean, we had a pandemic. We've been trying. We've done. And my premise here is, if you can do this conference and no black people are working, like, you walk into the office and they don't even have the sense to put a black account executive on. They don't need to.
Right.
They don't need to. Now check this out.
Not even one for show, right?
Check this out. This is the same firm that represents the chairman of the Black Caucus. See, remember when I talked about what's the other girl who?
I remember that.
Remember the white girl who Joanna Klonsky, and we had the Black Caucus chairman sending emails to black radio stations telling us what we need to do for black people. And my premise is, dang, y'all ain't gonna get a black person a chance to be the PR person for the Black Caucus?
Right.
You're not gonna.
And if you don't do that, nobody else will.
Exactly. Right? Exactly. So now, and then here goes the bad part. So I'm not even gonna advocate for the black fundraising firm because they're not really they're not necessarily interested in pro-black. They're more interested in being on the team, right? Mm-hmm. And then we saw they couldn't raise money when their candidate ran. When their founder ran, he couldn't raise $1,000, but we'll let that be. So probably that was a good thing. Anyway, I'm gonna let that be. You know you were shady though, so I'm gonna just return the shade. Anyway, the challenge becomes, Todd, now we are talking about the same crew that we got left out of medical cannabis. Do you think are those the same people that, not medical, out of cannabis for profit? Do you think those are the same people that advise them? Right? Like, and again, and if your inner circle and your inner sanctum for black people is white, then of course you're gonna be able to say you could justify why you didn't give anybody in. Like I honestly yesterday they kicked Tiger out for asking too many questions. Right? Well, I mean, because you on the thing and you trying to explain to black people how there was a blank piece of paper and you forgot to put us on it. And like no matter how you try to rationalize it, It's like the white people are sitting there like, we understand. And all the Negroes are sitting there, we're still poor.
So basically it's kind of a meeting to say, yeah, sorry, my bad.
And no, it wasn't sorry, my bad.
Not even sorry, get out of here.
It was like, we had a pandemic. What y'all complaining about? The white boys, so my thing is, you telling us what we complain about, but the white boys, the pandemic didn't stop them from opening up. Didn't stop them from making the $61 million.
Say that.
Yeah, they did pretty well.
They did pretty well, and it's like
they're doing.
And the challenge, the challenge for this whole thing is time. The challenge is that we don't even see it. Like I just think like this is what I know. I know that if I'm about to go in front of with all the social justice and everything, I feel like every white politician, lobbyist, everybody, it should have been a hiring spree for black people. Not in Illinois, though. Not in Illinois.
You gotta feel like you have to.
Right. Like, my premise is that when George Floyd happened, remember how I told you we should have a special session for black stuff?
Yeah.
That's why we ain't having it. Because there is no black demanding, like, you can get away with disrespecting black people in Illinois. Todd, I'm just telling you. Think about this. Just for real. The state's attorney, the lieutenant governor, the cannabis czar, and the lead sponsor leadership in Springfield, all black women. Mm-hmm. Featured by I Will, because you know what? The white women need to make sure that they got to be part of the, we get it, the black. So they go collect the black folks, put them up there, produce the event. And this is what I was talking about, what happens when we return. Like to normal. And all of these Black Lives Matter. For all the damn Black Lives Matters marches. And all them white people standing up there talking about Black Lives Matter, Black Lives Matter. Do black jobs matter? Do black workers matter? Does black participation matter? That is why I feel like when you ask me, when somebody says, are you a Democrat? We get done worse by Democrats than any Republican in Illinois. And I would tell you that it's the white liberals that are the best practitioners of it. Mm-hmm. The white ethnics they just want to stay in their neighborhood. The white liberals want to be amongst you and tell you what to do. They want to direct the traffic. They want to say, Kim, this is the best way. This is how you think. Just think about it. Just pay attention to it. You ever seen a black communications director lately? Anywhere? Seen a black digital person anywhere?
I remember it wasn't last year, the year before, there was an article about how there was no black chief of staff for any of the U.S. senators.
Right. And then we elected Sherry Bustos, and then she became the head of the DSSC and didn't have none. The Democratic, DNCC, Democratic National Campaign Committee. Mm-hmm. She was over the House. Look, y'all, it is systemic ignorance of black people in Chicago and in Illinois. It ain't racism just, because it's like, y'all, we gotta do better. Look, it is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd Stroger. Todd, I am off my soapbox, but I do want to say I enjoyed that interview with Blagojevich. I ain't gonna lie. I like talking to him. He still got it, Todd. Like, I mean, like, and you know it's got to be cooking. You think the speaker watched this morning?
No, but
somebody did.
Yeah, right.
Why? You know who was watching?
No, I don't know, but my thought would be that there's always somebody.
Oh no, there is always somebody watching. Steve Brown be watching all the time. He'd be like, Steve Brown be opening our emails.
I forgot about it, but he has a good life.
Steve Brown is a jiu-jitsu ninja killer, man.
Yeah.
I was like, hey man, you ever talk to Steve Brown? He like Steve Brown is the epitome of the Matagoon. Like his swag is like, you do realize that I can say any smart shit to y'all I want to and get away with it. What else we got? So I want to say a big shout out to former Illinois Governor Rob Blagojevich for being in. We need to try and get Rob Blagojevich on What's in It for the Black People radio. We should get him a show. You know what I'm saying? That'd be good, right? I bet you I bet you people be around here like, oh Lord. Look, they getting all nervous. Hey, I want to send a big shout out to Pastor Corey Brooks. I'm going to tell you that Corey Brooks, I swear to God, I wanted to hate on Corey Brooks. You know how you just want to be mad at somebody?
Then you go to Project Hood, and the great things are doing,
man. And then when you go to see Corey Brooks and you see all the stuff,
I don't care if he talks to rich white folks.
That's his business. Well, no, I'm saying, but I think what's so good about Corey is they tried, like the black elected officials tried to whoop him, right? They tried to take him out, but he built his organ. Remember I told you I built this, what we did, the plan was always to build a social audience, so he knew his plan. Corey was the same way, right? He was like, man, I am consciously, he went on the roof because he didn't want state money, right? And what's so funny is while all the black people was talking smack about him, you know who used to be at all his fundraisers writing checks?
Bruce Ryan?
Yeah.
Who?
John Cullerton.
Oh, yeah. He
I mean, because they got it. Like, the white boys get it. They like, oh, we don't draw no lines in the sand. Maybe one day I can help that brother. That brother can help me. Violence is going on. And can I ask a question? John Cass put up something really funny today. Not funny. He posted an article. He said, why is the mayor standing alone on violence in Chicago? Like, where's Kim Foxx? Where's the governor? Where's Tony Preckwinkle? Where's all of them? And I would just say, and John was implying that he's trying to stay on the good side, but that they are losing, that the mayor is losing the city. I'm going to say she already lost the city. But what he was asking was, why is she facing this violence and this crime wave alone? Where is the rest of the people? I was just going to say, she didn't make any friends. She hasn't made any friends. Every person that you named that she's taking a swipe at, some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
right?
I don't think she's trying to make any alliances.
I think on this violence thing, she could be helped by having a team, like having other people, like we have to stand together on this, right?
I mean, if they were from Chicago, that would help.
Well, that too. But see,
I would say she'd have a better, or she'd have a relationship with the U.S. attorney if President Trump wasn't the president. That's just my guess.
If was a fifth, or if a frog had a back pocket, he'd carry a pistol.
No, my point is, since he comes from there, but I think this, when you're not having a good relationship with my boss, I'm sorry, I can't go out with you.
Well, I just think this. I think that that's the U.S. attorney. I'm talking about right now. Like, remember when there was violence and we was ceasefire and the governor and everybody in Department of Human Services and everybody. I'm just gonna say the mayor is going to wear violence in Chicago by herself. I don't think anybody is going to step into that. I think she has waved a flag. She has pointed a finger at so many people. She has used her sharp elbows. I think she wears violence all by herself for the rest of it. And I think while we think there needs to be some more prosecutions, etc. I do think that the party in and of itself is going to let her hang in the wind because she made it her business to stick her finger in everybody's eye.
I think there's going to be a lot of door kicking in the next 4 months.
I think it's going to be a lot of door kicking in the next 4 months too. Hopefully it ain't the gang members. Look, y'all, this is the Maze Jackson Show. I'm your host, Maze Jackson. Got my co-host, Todd, Stroger, and Miss Sonia Escobar. We are asking the question every single day, what's in it for the black people? And if you don't like it, you know what? You can still tell them. Maze said, we out of here. Peace.
AM 1570, WBGX Harvey, Chicago.
Hey, y'all.
You can tell them.
Great show. Appreciate y'all
we
working
want
today.
to know what's in it for the black people.
No big, long after show. Todd, any thoughts? Anything you want to share with people before we get out of here?
Yeah, my hardest decision is going home, and Claire asked me, what's for lunch?
You know what?
I don't know.
Now, do you make lunch?
Well, she wants me to be creative and stuff, and I'm like,
look,
man, that wasn't my job.
Right. Look, there's some roast beef in there. It's a turkey sandwich in there. It's some white bread. You know, these kids.
She like, I ate that yesterday.
Right. Can I tell you something? The worst thing used to be like when your old man would my old man would make the lunch, and if there was no, like, they didn't really buy lunch meat and stuff.
Right.
So he would, like, on a day, like when there wasn't none, he would split hot dogs and put them on bread, and then put mayonnaise on them. Like, don't nobody want to. And then imagine
that, but not mayonnaise.
Have you ever been a black kid showing up at a white school with a hot dog sandwich?
No.
Nobody wanted to trade with you. Nobody. Hey, can I say something else? I want to thank everybody for sending out the stars today. We appreciate your love. I think we're like at $140, $150. We're going to probably eclipse we'll probably want to eclipse 1,000. However, what I will tell you is that we appreciate your support. Stay tuned. We're going to be very shortly moving to some subscription base so that there will be some additional content that you all will have. We are also adding shows. Don't forget, next week we got The Bigs. We got I Said What I Said. And we got Mike Brown coming with the Killer Mike Show. So, look, y'all. What's in it for the Black People Radio is blowing up. It is growing up. Very soon we are looking to finish up. We're going to have 12 hours of programming. Then we're going to move to weekends. So I appreciate y'all. If y'all got any ideas, content, some of you all have been inboxing me. Even if you don't have you're not one of our talent people, we can also figure out a game plan for you to do a podcast and help you develop yourself to potentially a show. All right, y'all. This is your man, Maze Jackson. I got meetings and work to do today, so I got to go trim up my beard and go take care of some business. Love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Again, one more time. If you don't like it,